in Oak Grove, Louisiana. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to 92.3 The Wolf for tonight's contest between the Oak Grove Tigers and your Ouachita Christian Eagles. My name's David Gordy, and it's my privilege to bring you the play-by-play call tonight. Handling the color commentary, my broadcast partner and head softball coach for the Ouachita Christian Lady Eagles, Daniel Kirkendall. Down on the sideline, our man on the field with the Marion State Bank sideline report, the head basketball coach of the Lady Eagles, Stan Humphreys. And as usual, Donnie Haley up here in the booth with us, bringing all of tonight's numbers. And back in the studio, this thing doesn't even happen. We don't even get on the air without the talented hands of John Runyon. I'd like to remind our listeners tonight, this game is also being streamed live in high definition at OCS.org. Go to OCS.org, live stream, watch live OCS Oak Grove. Watch the game and listen to our call from your television, computer, or smartphone device. And Daniel, you and I had a chance to ride together over here to Oak Grove tonight. Beautiful weather. Seems like it's it's a little warm right now, but it seems like it's cooling off a little bit as we get closer to kickoff. But other than that, it's going to be a really nice night for some high school football.
Yeah, the sun does not have far to go before it drops below the trees across the field. It's supposed to be in the mid-70s, nice calm wind, and a highly anticipated matchup between two teams ranked atop of 1A football here in the state of Louisiana. You expect a competitive game, a physical game. It's interesting that we're here in Oak Grove this year. This is our second year in a row to be playing over here, but due to the changes in the district, they had to shift some home and away stuff around, so we find ourselves back over here in the beautiful city of Oak Grove, Louisiana.
Well, Daniel, we got a chance now. We're going to go down to the field and check in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. And looks like, Stan, you had a chance to catch up with Ouachita Christian varsity football coach Stephen Fitzhugh.
Yeah, guys, thank you. Yeah, I'm here on the field tonight with Coach Fitzhugh. And, boy, what a beautiful night. Great weather. It's football weather. And, Coach, week one on the road in Shreveport, 5A school Southwood, played well, came out, focused, really did some great things. And this early in the year, week two, big rival game on the road again. What are you looking for your team this week to improve from week one to week two in this big rival game?
Well, it comes down to execution on both sides of the ball. And I know that's an old cliche, but really, our offense, we've got to take care of the football. We got to stay with our blocks. We got to catch the football. Make the plays that are there to be made. And that's going to be critical. And then, eliminate the pre-snap penalties. We had several of those last week. We need to eliminate that. Defensively, it comes down to each guy doing their job. I thought last week we improved on that as far as not having two guys in one gap, stuff like that. Oak Grove always has something up their sleeve. They're going to try halfback pass, reverse, something. So our guys, again, just do your job and be great tacklers. That's the thing. It's that determination of will. Who has more, the tackler or the guy with the ball in their hands running? And so that's going to be big. And then special teams in a game like this always comes down to be a huge factor. So, like I said, it's going to be a great battle. It's unusual to be doing this week, too, with Oak Grove. But again, this, as we feel, this is the district championship. Right now, put somebody in the driver's seat.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach. I know we get to your team on the inside, but good luck tonight.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Guys, the big thing about this is early in the year, week two, the state championship either usually comes through Oak Grove or comes through OCS, and to be week two, it's a pretty exciting night on this beautiful night.
All right, Stan. So for everybody listening at home and everybody tuning in on the live stream, all right, so they can see the field, and of course they can hear you down there on it. But what we got to do is we got to convey. What's it feel like down there tonight?
Well, it's exciting. The stands are filling. It's kind of one of those things that, we talked about it last week. You heard all the announcers on Saturday talking about college football, and the fans are back. The excitement's back. The students are back. The band's back. There's nothing like it on that Friday night because you prepare all week long. It's the only sport that you prepare 5 days or 4 or 5 days to play one night. Everything else you might play every day. It's that one sport that you put it all into it for that whole week for that one Friday night. And I tell you what, the stands are starting to get full.
What's the temperature feel like down there, Stan?
It's great. This is great football weather for September, for the 1st of September. Instead of being 98% humidity, this is football weather.
All right. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with Ouachita Christian head football coach Stephen Fitzhugh down on the sideline with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Well, we're going to take a quick break from here in Oak Grove, Louisiana, Tigers Stadium. The Ouachita Christian Eagles getting ready to tangle with the Tigers from Oak Grove. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. High School. We are in Oak Grove, Louisiana for tonight's contest between the Ouachita Christian Eagles and the Tigers from Oak Grove High School. I'd like to remind again everybody tonight that this game is being streamed live in high definition at OCS.org. Just go to the OCS.org website, look up at the top, strip across the top says live stream. You can watch tonight's game live in high definition. And if you're tech savvy, unlike, well, I mean, I guess I'm kind of tech savvy, but probably not as tech savvy as you, but pretty tech savvy. You can actually watch the game and listen to it from your television, computer, or smartphone device. And one of these days, you know, it doesn't seem I'm ever going to be able to maybe watch one of our games, but I think it'd be super cool to watch on my TV. And I guess you pair it up, you know, and make it work.
Yeah, it's not bad. It doesn't take long. As a matter of fact, I've got my iPad right in front of me with the live stream going right now, and I can see Brandon McQuillan and his team, you know, filming what's going on, the pregame warm-up. So if you're just listening on your phone, you might as well go over to OCS.org, hit the live stream tab.
Oh, absolutely, man. That's how to tell you. It's pretty crystal clear. Look at that. It's a shot.
Yeah, there we are. Look, there we are.
That's right. Here in the press box, and I'm sure you know what the cool thing is too is Stan's got to be on his game, because what's going to happen is as we go down to Stan, a lot of times they peel the camera over to Stan so they can actually watch him, you know, when he's down there. So he's got to be on his toes. You know, Daniel, this is one of those games that I know Coach Fitzhugh, I know when I was playing at Ouachita Christian, which, yeah, we still had football at Ouachita Christian when I played there. It was one of those games that always had a little asterisk by it on the schedule, you know, and that's because, you know, the Oak Grove game was different. I don't know why, I don't know how. Maybe it's just, you know, the level of competition between these two teams, but it was different. I mean, we prepped a little harder for it, worked a little harder for it. And, you know, it's one of those series that's been around a while, but it's also one of those series that Ouachita Christian is actually trailing in. And in all fairness, we're trailing in this thing by a pretty good bit. The Eagles actually, in the 31-game series between the two teams, have 10 wins against 21 losses. Now, a lot of those losses came early. And, you know, it's been, but if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I think it's, what are we in, a three-game slump now?
No, I think we won in 2019. Is that right? Yeah, we won 2019 at home, state championship year, when Hunter was a junior, and OCS came over to Monroe OCS and play, and we were able to pull out a victory that week, 40-21, and on our road to the state championship. But that was also the Oak Grove Tigers won the state championship that year in non-select schools.
So quite possibly, and I think I'm correct in saying this, the last time the Oak Grove Tigers lost a football game, they lost to the Ouachita Christian Eagles, and they lost to, at the time, freshman quarterback Landon Grave.
That's almost all the way right, except up until last week. Last week, Oak Grove played against Mangum, had a tough, tight, close matchup that could have gone either way and ended up on the short side of the game last week against the Mangum Dragons.
Well, as we both mentioned, I know you had a chance to watch some of the Mangum film, a really, really hard fought contest between both teams.
Yeah, physical. It was a running game. I mean, both teams ran the ball, and every once in a while they put the ball in the air. Oak Grove is going to run the ball 2 or 3 times for every time they pass the ball. That's kind of their pattern with their game plan, at least up until this point, through their jamboree and last week against Mangum. But Mangum's kind of a mirror type of team. They ran the ball up the middle, and turnovers and big plays last week between those two teams that was the difference in that game, which is also going to be the difference in a lot of football games. If you have big plays and you hold on to the football, you can win some ball games.
The head coach for the Ouachita Christian Eagles is in his 23rd season. Stephen Fitzhugh, Coach Fitzhugh's career record with Ouachita Christian is 215 wins against only 76 losses. The head coach for the Oak Grove Tigers is in his 7th season is Ryan Gregory. Coach Gregory with a career record of 73 wins and 22 losses. Daniel, the Eagles come into tonight's contest with a record of 1-0. Nice victory over the Southwood Cowboys, as Stan alluded to his conversation with Stephen earlier. The Tigers, they come in tonight, as you mentioned, 0-1 with a really tough loss to the Mangum Dragons in their season opener. Kind of a cool thing that you like to touch on, at least it's worth noting. I don't know that it really matters that much, but the Eagles are currently ranked number 2 in the state, according to the Class 1A Louisiana Sports Writers Association poll. The Tigers come in at number 3, according to the same poll. So tonight, you got number 2 against number 3 at Oak Grove. It's a big game, and also usually, and as Stan alluded to talking with Coach Fitzhugh, it's usually one of those games that can become a measuring stick for what the rest of the season looks like for both of these teams.
No question. They had to put a rush order on figuring out what their teams are capable of with a game of this magnitude this early in the season. And I'm going to let people in on, what do they call it, breaking down the fourth wall. Last week after the Southwood game, great game. OCS looked great, but, as soon as we go off the air, you look at me and you say, hey, it's Oak Grove week. Like, this is something that OCS, the whole student, the faculty, administration, fans, everybody's looking forward to this week. It's a good atmosphere here in Oak Grove, and this is in a game of this magnitude earlier in the season. Like you said, it's a great measuring stick because this is in the top 2 or 3 most challenging games, and probably number 1 that you look forward to if you're an OCS fan each year in and year out.
That's because it's Oak Grove week.
And it's Oak Grove week, baby.
That's right. Well, both teams have made their way out onto the field. Both teams have completed their warm-ups. The Eagles coming over to Oak Grove tonight in gold pants with white jerseys, gold numbers, and, of course, the traditional Ouachita Christian gold helmet. Well, the Tigers are doing the all-black thing. Black pants, black jerseys with white numbers, and solid black helmets as the Tigers getting ready to make their way onto the field. It looks like the Eagles are going to make their way onto the field as well. Both teams out of the locker room, and well, you know what? It looks like both of them are going to take their own time to make their way onto the field. What we're going to do, we'll take another break from here at Tiger Stadium in Oak Grove, Louisiana, and when we come back, probably following the national anthem and our invocation, we'll probably go back down and check in with Stan Humphreys right before tonight's kickoff. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle Football on 92.3 The Wolf. Hour 35. Well, what do you think, Daniel? About an hour and 10-minute ride up tonight onto the campus of Oak Grove. Beautiful night for football as both teams have made their way out onto the field, and we're getting close to kickoff. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Stan, both teams out there on the field, getting close to getting this one underway.
Yeah, we are. Both teams run out on the field. They're still trying to stretch a little bit here, waiting on the national anthem and to kick this game off. We've talked about it's a big rivalry game. It's week 2. The big thing thing we got to understand about this, and I think both coaches explain this to their kids, hey, it's week 2. This doesn't mean that neither one of these schools can still win the state championship, whatever happens tonight. You just got to lay it out there and go play the game.
Absolutely. Well, Stan, tell me something. We're getting ready. Captains for both teams on the sideline making their way out to midfield. All right, so you probably called a few coin tosses in your career. I'm just going to call that a hunch. All right?
Yeah.
So you got a preference?
I really don't, because here's the thing. Most of the time, the coin toss is when if you call it, everybody wants to go on defense first. Well, guess what? So if the other team wins it, I get the ball. So either way, it didn't matter to me.
The winner all the way around.
That's
there.
right.
All right, Stan, thanks so much. We'll be coming back to you here in a little bit. Stan Humphreys down on the sideline for the Ouachita Christian Eagles with the Marion State Bank sideline report. And we're trying to, a little bit of kind of a restriction. I'm sure we'll probably be able to make our way out maybe more towards the coin toss as things kind of cool down a little bit. But right now we're going to have to decipher things from up here in the booth. And it looks like maybe the Oak Grove Tigers won this toss, but it'll be interesting to see as the officials drifting with the Eagles. So it looks like the Eagles won tonight's coin toss. They deferred, so they're actually gonna kick off to the Tigers and get the ball to start the second half of play. We're getting ready for our invocation and our national anthem. We're gonna take a break from here at Tiger Stadium. When we come back, we're gonna kick this game off and get it underway. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous time, o'er the ramparts we marched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
You had front row seat for that.
That's right. Very nice. High School, Oak Grove, Louisiana, where the Ouachita Christian Eagles making a short road trip up here to Oak Grove High School to take on the Oak Grove Tigers. Ouachita Christian entering tonight's contest at 1-0. Big win over 5A team, the Southwood Cowboys. Oak Grove with a tough loss last week to the Mangum Dragons. OCS enters the contest ranked number 2 in the state, according to the Louisiana High School to the Louisiana High School Writers Association. The Tigers come in at number 3. Sam Harrell tees this one up at the 40-yard line, and we are moments away from getting tonight's contest underway. Looks like drifting back deep for the Tigers is going to be, let's see, number 1, Ty Porter. And also Cameron Franklin will be back as well. Harrell approaches the ball, gets his leg into this one. It's a nice end-over-end kick, big kick, that is actually going to travel out of bounds, unfortunately, right around the 1-yard line. But I'm not sure if he didn't touch the ball, and he is. They're going to rule that ball out of bounds at about the half-yard line.
I don't understand what was his name. Cameron Franklin was thinking that ball was clearly going out of bounds before it crossed the end zone, so they would have got a touchback, but he just picks it up and carries it right out of bounds, so that pins the Oak Grove Tigers deep to start this game off right here off the bat.
Number 16, Jackson Bradley, is going to bring the Tigers to the line of scrimmage. Bradley listed as a freshman for this Oak Grove football team. And I don't know that Oak Grove could have started off with worse field position, Daniel. It's actually just, the nose is almost on the goal line. First down and 10 for the Oak Grove Tigers, ball at their own half-foot line. Bradley's going to turn. He gives this one to the up back for the Tigers. Going to be met in the hole, and the Eagle defense is going to stonewall that one at no gain. So it's going to bring up second down and 10 from, again, about the half-yard line.
It looks like the OCS defensive line is not going to make this easy to get out of that deep field position for the Tigers here.
Looks like the ball carrier that time, actually number 24, Colin David Anderson. Second down and 10 for Oak Grove. First possession for the Tigers off the opening kickoff. Harold's kick not fielded cleanly. Boy, I tell you what, the Eagles again are going to stonewall the defense, and that is, they're not going to give him credit for the safety. He did make it out of the end zone, but man, that's tenacious for this Ouachita Christian defense so far, Daniel. Really good play that time. A gain of 1 yard with forward progress, so it's going to bring up third down and 9.
Number 24 on the carry again, running into a wall. Forward progress gives them a gain of about 6 inches. Number 56, Casey Cobb, on the right side of the defensive line. I expect him to have a big game tonight.
Big third down play here for the Tigers on their opening drive. Ball at their own 1 yard line. Bradley's going to turn. He's going to keep this one on the ground again. And it looks like there's going to be a pretty good push that time out of the Oak Grove offensive line, but going to be well short of the first down. As the ball carrier again, Colin David Anderson, gain of 6 yards, but that's going to bring up fourth down and 4 for the Tigers, and they're going to have to punt this football. Drifting deep for the Eagles is a very, very dangerous return man in the form of Tristan Wiley. Handling the punting chores for the Tigers is I got a 7.
Thomas Clack.
Don't have it. There it is down there. Number 17 is Thomas Clack. Got him kind of mixed up on my roster here. Clack gets a nice high punt. Wiley is going to field that one cleanly. Boy, I tell you what, real close, but they're gonna let discretion be their guide. Keep the flag in the pocket. Wiley kind of bumped as he signaled for the fair catch that time, but no return. So it's going to be first down and 10 for the Eagles, already in Tiger territory. Punt, Clack's punt covered 31 yards, no return. The Eagles start off at the Tiger 39-yard line. First down and 10. Junior quarterback Landon Graves is going to bring the Eagles to the line. 2 running backs join him in the shotgun. Deep back is Strickland. Graves takes the ball, gives this one to Strickland, and he is going to get hit in the backfield. And Daniel, I would say that was either a run blitz or somebody missed an assignment, but boy, Strickland gets popped in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up second down and 12.
That was number 40, Caleb Proctor, for the Oak Grove Tigers, a Louisiana Lafayette commit, big kid, comes in, he's about 6'4", 240, I think, and he just looks, he looks like a big kid out there and a great play on defense.
Second down and 12 for the Eagles, an offset out backfield beside Graves in the shotgun. Turns, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland Strickland's got some running room. He's across the 30, across the 25, across the 20. Already into Randall's fine meat red zone as he'll be stopped. It looks like they'll spot this about the, well, let's call it 16-yard line. A gain of 24 yards, enough for a community pharmacy first down. It will put the Eagles in the Randall's fine meat red zone at the Tigers' 17-yard line. First down and 10. A nice play that time, but I'll tell you something. That play was set up by a huge hole in the defensive line of the Tigers. Great job up front by that OCS offensive line. Graves in the shotgun. Strickland joins him in the gun. Two receivers to his left, one to his right. Good snap from center. He's going to give this one to Strickland. Strickland's going to cut it up inside. Did a real nice job that time, Daniel, of setting the edge himself and cutting it back in, taking a shot, but picking up 5 yards on the run. Really good to see that outside leg get planted and dive inside to get what the defense will take you.
No doubt. You love to see the resolve here. After a tackle for loss running off the right side, they go back to the right side. 2 plays in a row and able to pick up positive yards. It's good to see number 51, James David Miller, back on the line tonight for the Eagles.
Second down and 5. Ball at the Tiger 10-yard line. Graves in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion across the formation. Takes a snap. He's calling his own number. Patient run. Going to get inside the 10. Now he'll get down to around the 5-yard line. Going to be real close. A gain of 5, and it depends on the spot. As Donnie's giving him 5, they needed 5, and they do move the chain. So enough for another community pharmacy first down. First down and goal for the Eagles. Well, let's call it the 8-yard line, or actually the 7. 7 minutes and 55 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. 3 and out for the Oak Grove Tigers. The Eagles have been pushing this drive following a clack punt. Their first possession of the game. Eagles traveling from left to right on your radio dial here at Tiger Stadium. Graves is going to send Wiley in motion. Now he'll go behind the formation motion. Quick pitch. Nice block. Wiley's going to get inside the 5, down to around the 2. No indication, but they're going to, looks like they'll mark him down at about the 1-yard line is what I'm seeing from here.
Yeah, that was a good play right there.
Actually, they're going to put him at the 4, Daniel. It'll be the 4-yard or 3-yard line. It's going to be second down and goal for the Eagles at the 3.
It was good that they're looking Tristan Wiley's way. You want to get the ball in his hands, and a good rush right there. A couple good blocks, but, not a lot of field to work with here. So that'll bring up second down for the Eagles.
Landon Graves has yet to put the ball in the air. Everything so far on this drive on the ground. Second down, goal from the 4. Graves sends a man in motion. Again, that's Wiley. This time they turn, they give it to Strickland. Strickland with some running room. Looks like he's in. Touchdown, Ouachita Christian. Number 28, Jay Strickland, is going to take it in from 4 yards out to put the Eagles on the board first here in Oak Grove as the Eagles open up with a 6-0 lead on the Strickland touchdown run.
Nice cut right there by Strickland. He took it right inside the tackle. They disguised it by putting Wiley in motion again, and like the play before, and Chad was able to find a hole and dive into the end zone.
Spencer Elkins on to attempt the extra point. High snap, handled well, and that was going to be blocked. And you know what? I mean, that's really tough to handle. Jed Hutnell, the holder, did a really good job, Daniel, just getting his hands on it. But boy, the snap was way high, threw off the timing. And I tell you what, you get in ball games like this, man, I'm just telling you, there's been some OCS Oak Grove games where every point counts. And you hope that one's not one to come back and haunt you.
Every point does count, and up until the PAT there, this is exactly how Coach Fitzhugh, I know he wanted to start this game off to get the ball and score first. And, it looked like there was a little hesitation on the part of Elkins there. Maybe they'll work on that timing over there on the sideline. And I think that was blocked by about 2 or 3 Oak Grove defenders there.
Now, 7 minutes and 26 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Tonight's first quarter brought to you by the Darren Dugan Agency, American National, for all your home, auto, life, and business insurance needs. Call Darren Dugan today, 318-807-2100. That's 318-807-2100. And Darren and the group at the Dugan Agency, longtime supporters of the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Ouachita Christian takes their opening possession about, I'd have to ask Donnie, but it looked like about a 43-yard drive to put their first points of the board up. So 6-0 in favor of the Eagles. 7 minutes and 26 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Oak Grove, well, this one is not going to travel well, and that one's going to go out of bounds. Let's take a minute to go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. How's it going down there, Stan?
Well, it's going good, guys. You know, that first play, they hit us on a run blitz. You were talking about that linebacker, number 40. He just split the gap and made the tackle behind. Then he walked up in the gap on the second play, and it was a great job by the O-line, just blocking everybody down, kicking the end out. Really turned up in the hole for a big play to get us down there close and get us into the end zone.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. 6-0 in favor of the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Oak Grove's second drive of the night. As the Tigers start off with great field position on an errant kick. Bradley rolls, looks to throw, and does. He's got a receiver, and that's going to be complete to number 35 for the Tigers. Actually, well, I tell you what, or actually 25. So now I do have him on their roster. That's Landon Farrell, and Farrell picks up 11 yards, and that's enough for an Oak Grove first down.
Nice tight end drag there, it looked like, and able to find him. Tate Hamby, number 13, the sophomore, coming up with the tackle as soon as the ball was caught.
First down and 10 for Oak Grove. Ball now at their own 45-yard line. Again, they go with the running game right up the middle. And boy, I tell you, the Eagles continue to be stingy. A gain of only 2 yards. I will say this. Oak Grove loves to run the ball right up the middle, 2 yards, 2 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards, and then they pull it, and they run the option. And that's about 6 dives in a row going to the same location. So, you know, you kind of sit there and wonder, when's he going to pull it and run out? And do we remember our assignments? Second down and 8, an I backfield behind Bradley. 2 receivers, part of Oak Grove's set. 1 wide left, 1 wide right. Second down and 8, ball at the Tiger 47-yard line. Bradley turns, gives this one inside to number 24 again. That's Anderson, and Anderson with a nice tough run that time. Gain of 4 yards on the play, but that's going to bring up a big third down here, as it looks like it'll be third down and 4. They'll spot this in Eagle territory at the Eagle 48-yard line.
Yeah, Ryder Bentley and Zach White in on the tackle there. Ryder Bentley listed at 6'7", 270, and last week we saw it again right there. He gets his paws on you. He doesn't let go.
Well, they're going to take a hydration break from here at Tiger Stadium. 6 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Ouachita Christian with a 6-0 lead over Oak Grove. We'll take a quick break with them. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. High School, Ouachita Christian, and the Oak Grove Tigers playing some football. Ouachita Christian out in front, 6-0. 6 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Oak Grove with their second possession of the game. Bradley's going to turn, going to give this one to the deep back that time, and that's actually number 22, Zach Hegwood, and Hegwood is going to pick up a nice chunk of yardage. Needed 4 for the first down, but he actually picked up 11, Daniel.
That's right. So they go in the I formation again, and instead of handing it to that fullback for that dive, they hand it to the tailback. That fullback dive is what their whole offense is built upon.
Bradley turns again, hands this one to Hegwood. Hegwood across the 30-yard line, down inside, deeper into Eagle territory. A nice gain that time on the play. It looks like a gain of 11, and that's going to be enough for another Oak Grove first down as they're moving the ball now against this Eagle defense. First down and 10 with the ball at the Eagle 24. Again, they go with Hegwood, a missed assignment. He's going to be run out of bounds on the far side of the field, but not before he picks up a nice chunk of yardage.
Another big chunk for Hegwood there. He's biting off big chunks right now, gaining big yards for Oak Grove. They found something. Hopefully we'll see the Eagles adjust right here, maybe slant with their defensive line to try to cut that off.
The Tigers, I should say, going to be looking at second down and 1. They're going to spot this football at the Eagles 17-yard line. 5 minutes and 18 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Eagles lead 6-0. Freshman quarterback Jackson Bradley brings the Tigers to the line. Turns, hands this one up the middle to Anderson. Anderson with a nice gain on the play. Needed 2 for the first down, picked up 5, and that's going to set up the Oak Grove Tigers with another first down. Now they'll spot this one at the Eagle 12-yard line. First down and 10. Bradley turns. This time Bradley's going to keep it himself. He's got some running room. They'll break down on him. But Bradley will fall forward for another nice gain on the play. They lure you, and then they hit you with 7 yards on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, this is the definition of smash mouth football. We've seen one pass play in the first 10 minutes of this game so far, and they're just trying to establish the run. Both teams are looking to establish the run. Right now, the Eagles looking to make a big stop deep in their own territory.
Second down, 3 for the Tigers. Ball at the Eagle 5. Bradley turns. This time he's going to hand to the deep back. That's going to be Ty Porter. Porter with some second and third effort. And we're going to get a touchdown signal from the line judge. That's going to be a touchdown for Oak Grove.
It looked like for a moment that the Eagle defenders had him hemmed up at around the 4-yard line, but his momentum carried in as, who is that, 41? As Maddox King tried to drag him down, he carried him into the end zone there for the Oak Grove Tigers' first score of the game.
Clack on to attempt the extra point for the Tigers. He gets a good snap, a good hold, and they're going to call this one good. Well, the Eagles put the first points on the board, Daniel, but they didn't put the most recent on. And the biggest thing on that was a bad snap that cost them on the extra point. So here you go, Oak Grove 7, Ouachita Christian 6. That touchdown took place right over and right in front of our man with the Marion State Bank sideline report, Stan Humphrey. Stan, you had a front row seat for that drive.
Yeah, just a bunch of smash mouth football going on right there. And you could tell a couple of times Oak Grove got right back to the line of scrimmage, no huddle, and ran the exact same play 4 times straight in a row on this weak side over here on Ouachita Christian sideline. And just mauling some people right now up front. We've got to do a better job on the defensive line of staying lower and getting underneath the blocks and allowing our linebackers to scrape and make plays. But if they can get to the second level on our linebackers, it's going to be a long night for us.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. The Oak Grove Tigers answer the Eagles' opening score with a touchdown of their own. The Tigers score on their second possession. The Eagles scored on their first. Clack will tee this one up at the 40-yard line. Deep for the Eagles is number 3, Tristan Wiley. Tristan Wiley, a recent commitment to the United States Air Force Academy. Wiley stands at his 10-yard line. And he is going to kick this one directly to Tristan. He'll field it cleanly at the 5. He's got some blockers in front of him. Now he tries to find a seam, and he does. He's across the 25, almost out to the 30-yard line, where he'll be wrapped up by a host of Tiger defenders. So it's going to be first down and 10 for the Eagles, a gain of 24 yards on the return. Actually, Tristan's going to throw the ball over now. It'll be interesting on a special teams play if he'll have to go out.
Yeah, his helmet came off towards the end of that play. Let's see. Yep, he's going to have to somebody in.
So it's going to be first down and 10 for the Eagles. Landon Graves, junior quarterback, brings the Eagles to the line. Tate Hamby will come in for Tristan as he gets his helmet adjusted. Graves in the shotgun. 2 running backs join him in the gun. First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 27-yard line. They go on the ground. That's Strickland. Strickland with a really, really quick burst as Strickland picks up 6 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up second down and 4 for the Eagles.
It looked like that play had potential for a big play. Shoestring tackle as Chad made it just off the edge of the line there on the left side. Like you said, man, and I mentioned it last week, his first and second and third step, man, he gets up to full speed really quickly.
Second down and 4 for the Eagles. Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Graves keeps this one on the ground. He goes with Strickland, and he has nothing there. A lot of penetration by that Oak Grove defensive front. depending on where they give him forward progress, it looks like probably going to be a loss of about 2 yards. So it's going to bring up third down now. And let's see where they put this spot. It's going to be 3rd and 6. Big third down play here, Daniel, and you haven't seen. I don't think that Landon's put the ball in the air so far tonight.
No, he hasn't put it in the air yet. That was that run blitz again. I imagine you can set some stuff up with your run, you know, if you're able to establish it and get everybody creeping in and try to find something on the outside or over the top.
3rd down and 6. Graves in the shotgun. 4 receivers, part of the set. Graves with some time to throw. He's going to step up, and now he's going to run it. Landon Graves can run the football and does. And now he's going to have enough for a first down. As he picked up what looked like about 8 yards, maybe 7 on the play, needed 6. First down, Ouachita Christian.
Yeah, good decision there by number 5, the junior Landon Graves, and pulling the ball down and trying to pick up the first down to keep the chains moving.
And that's exactly what he does. That Eagle first down brought to you by the fine folks at Community Pharmacy. First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 41-yard line. 2:33 left to play here in the first quarter. Oak Grove leads 7-6. Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Gets a good snap. Pulls it down. Now he's going to give somebody a chance to make a play, and it's going to be incomplete. As he threw that one up, Daniel probably, and I have to tip my hat, good coverage that time by the Tigers, as looked like number 13, Jai White, was running stride for stride with Barham White, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles.
Yeah, fighting for position a little bit. That was good coverage, but also a well-thrown ball into good coverage, one that wasn't going to be easily picked off. And, yeah, that was number 4, Brock Hogan, trying to pull it down there.
2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Graves first throw with an eye. Ball at their Eagle 41-yard line. Good snap from center. They keep this one on the ground with Strickland. Strickland's going to bounce this one outside. Good team defensive speed by the Tigers, Daniel. Strickland tried to bounce it, and you had 3 Oak Grove defenders come up to make the stop. A gain of 3 yards on the play. But it's going to bring up a big third down here again on this drive.
I mentioned James David Miller earlier, and if you're watching on your live stream, you saw James David Miller pull down the line and absolutely paved the way, put an Oak Grove defender on his back. Great block by James David there.
3rd down and 6 for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. 2nd drive of the night. First one resulted in a touchdown. Oak Grove defense has been pretty stiff against the run on this drive. Graves in the shotgun. Going to keep this one on the ground, and Strickland's got running room. He's across the 40, still on his feet. Great job that time of hitting the hole. Again, Strickland up to top speed, but again, a big hole opened up by that big OCS offensive line as Strickland picks up way more than he needed for a first down. Needed 6, picked up 18, and that's enough for another Community Pharmacy first down.
Good decision by Strickland. He made it to the 2nd and 3rd level, and he had the first down, knew he can get positive yards. Instead of going side to side, he just pushed it right up the field, able to pick up maximum yardage there.
Very rare you're going to make too many coaches angry running the ball north and south.
That's right.
Strickland with a first down. First down and 10 for the Eagles in Tiger territory at the Tiger 39. Again, they go with Strickland, and again, the Tigers there. Missed tackle. Strickland's got some running room, but he's going to be knocked down at about the 40-yard line. Great second effort out of Strickland just to get away from the initial lick, but unfortunately going to lose 2 yards. As soon as we gave him credit for going north and south, he bounced that one straight down the line of scrimmage and gets tackled for the 2-yard loss.
Well, to his credit, he was destined for a 5-yard loss, able to turn it into a 2-yard loss. But I tell you what, man, this is the Chad Strickland show so far in this game.
2nd down and 12 following the loss. Ball now at the Tiger 41-yard line. Graves with an offset eye with him in the backfield. 2 receivers split wide to his right, 1 to his left. Eagles traveling from left to right on your radio dial. Again, they go with Strickland, and again, Strickland is going to be met in the hole. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Eagles. Nobody able to get their hands on number 40 right now for a block on that one.
Yeah, he's becoming a regular visitor in the backfield there, and he's coming from the linebacker position, so he's shooting the gap. It'd be interesting to see how OCS offensive coordinator Drew Vadrine starts to counter that.
Big 3rd down here. We've said it 3 times so far on this drive. Eagles have managed to come up with it. On the other two, Graves in the shotgun. Two receivers to his right, two to his left. 4, part of the set. Landon looks to throw, steps into it. He's got a man downfield, and that's going to be incomplete. And, whoa, well, looked like the defensive back may have gotten there a little early. Tristan's begging for it, but the officials are actually going to, well, they're not going to throw the flag, so it's going to bring up a big 4th down here. And it looks like the Eagles are going to punt this football, and got a little bit of an issue, I think, with the play clock here as we're going to take a quick timeout. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys in the Marion State Bank sideline report. Boy, Stan, I tell you what, that Oak Grove defense got stingy on that drive.
Yeah, they did, and they're just blitzing those inside linebackers into the gap between the center and both guards, and they're just getting in the gap before our offensive linemen can make the double team and come off on those backers. We really got to take care of those linebackers getting into the backfield. If we do that, there's some holes there for us to be made, but we've got to hit the ball downhill, not sideline to sideline.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. I'll tell you what, Stan's not up here with us, and so his vantage point is not near as good, but he is definitely seeing the exact same thing that we're seeing, and that is we're going to have to try and turn this thing up in the hole and get those tough north-south yards.
Yeah, those linebackers are disrupting. They're disrupting the play, the handoff, and as soon as Chad's getting the ball, he's having to evade his first tackler, and he's done so several times, but they're a constant presence in the backfield right now, and it's just a timing thing. I don't think they're blowing up our line. Like Stan said, we can't get there in time because they are shooting the gap as soon as the ball is snapped.
Well, this is when it becomes interesting. Ouachita Christian's starting punter is their starting quarterback. So Landon is going to line up to punt this football. And now he looks like he's going to, now he does decide to punt. This one is going to take an Eagle bounce, get down inside the 10, and it looks like it'll come to rest at about the 7-yard line of Oak Grove. So that's where it becomes interesting. Graves actually took that snap. He held it for a moment. And, you know, just to kind of check and see what the Tigers wanted to do, and then decided to punt the football. The punt covered 34 yards, but they pinned the Tigers deep here at they're going to start this one at their own 6-yard line.
Yeah, Landon with an excellent punt there to pin the Tigers deep, but you know that wasn't just for show right there. If Landon sees an open receiver there, he's gonna put the ball in the air to him. But good decision. Now we got to make it tough for them to pick up big yardage here.
Start the second quarter, 11 minutes and 48 seconds left to play in the second. Oak Grove 7, Ouachita Christian 6, and it looks like we're going to have an early penalty. The officials for tonight's contest coming from the Monroe Association. And it looks like it's going to be a penalty against the Eagles. It's going to be a 5-yard bonus for Oak Grove. Encroachment is the call against the Eagles. Ball wasn't even snapped, so it must have been lined up in the neutral zone.
It looked like maybe that was Barham White. You know, he tried to time the snap and just made it across the line.
First down and 5 for the Tigers. Ball now at their own 12-yard line. And it looks like we may have a little movement again. Depends on who they're going to throw this one on.
There were a couple people that moved there. It's either going to be on Oak Grove's right guard. Is that who it's on?
Well, it looks like they're going to mark this one off, but the official's saying, "Hold on, just a second." And now we're going to have an officials conference on an offsides call.
Looked like the right guard and our left defensive end jumped at the same time. I don't know who caused the infraction. They're going to call it on OCS.
They're going to call it on OCS again. So 2 back-to-back encroachment penalties against Ouachita Christian. So Grove picks up a freebie first down that time on 2 encroachment calls. 10 yards and penalties back-to-back. First down and 10 for the Tigers now at their own 16-yard line. They keep this one on the ground, and the Eagle defense is stingy this time. Gain of 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 8. 11 minutes and 36 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Oak Grove leads 7-6. Third possession of the night for the Tigers. 3 and out on their first possession. Second possession resulting in their touchdown. And the Tigers right now find themselves with the ball, 2nd down and 8 at their own, well, let's say 19-yard line. Freshman quarterback Jackson Bradley brings the Tigers to the line. An I backfield behind him. One receiver, part of the set. Turns, hands this one to the deep back. And, boy, I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough sledding inside right now. Nice run that time. Corey Freeman on the carry, and he's going to pick up maybe 1 yard. And that's going to be, it's going to bring up now 3rd down and let's call it 7 for the Tigers.
Like number 50, Colin Cork, the junior, playing middle linebacker right now, able to make the tackle there for a minimal gain.
3rd down and 7. Big 3rd down here for Oak Grove to try and keep this drive alive. 3rd and 7 from their own 20-yard line. Bradley again with an I backfield behind him and 2 receivers. A lot of different formations coming out of Oak Grove so far tonight. Sends a man in motion across the formation. Turns, play action pass. Trying to find somebody downfield. He's not going to find him. He'll cut it up himself, and now he's got some running room. He's got more than enough that he needed for the 1st down, and now we got a penalty marker on the play. Not sure who that one is going to be against, but it could be a big one, as it's going to be a gain of 18 yards, but we do have a marker on the play.
Excellent run by Bradley there. Looked like some of the players got tangled up after Bradley ran out of bounds after completing the play. So let's see, looked like one of our players, number 53, Landon Ogden, ended up on the ground. So I don't know how that happened.
So we got an illegal block in the back.
Yep.
And that's going to be a big penalty. Now, the only thing is they'll mark this one off, and it may probably going to take the 1st down away, but it's probably not going to be as big a penalty. Probably set them up with 3rd down and manageable following the mark off, but we'll have to wait and see. Tell you what, the coaches for the Oak Grove staff are not happy with the call. And they're continuing to let the referees know about it. Now they are going to mark this penalty off. Needed to get to around, well, that is definitely going to put them real close to the 1st down. It looks like after they march it off, it's going to be 3rd down and a short yard. Huge 3rd down play here for the Tigers. They spot this football at the 26.5-yard line, or 25.5, I should say. 3rd down and 1. An I backfield behind Bradley. Going to turn, hand this one to the fullback, and depending on the spot, it looks like he may have enough for the 1st down. A gain of 2, he needed a long 1. I think they're going to have enough for the 1st down. Again, depend on the spot. And it is going to be enough for the 1st down.
Oak Grove continuing to run the ball. They're dedicated to the run. They're dedicated to that fullback dive, and like I mentioned earlier, everything's going to play off of that. All their offensive wrinkles are built off that fullback dive play.
1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 28-yard line. Bradley goes under center. Again, this time the ball's on the ground. The ball is on the ground. It looks like we don't have any indication right now. Looks like, of course, OCS says they have it, but we got to wait. We don't have an official indication, and now we do. And it's going to be 1st down, Ouachita Christian. Huge turnover as the Eagles come up with the ball.
Number 79, Ryder Bentley, able to pick up the loose ball there and put the ball in the Eagles' hands in Oak Grove territory. What a play by the Eagles defense there to stop that slow march down the field.
So the Eagles are going to pick up the turnover. 9 minutes and 31 seconds left to play here in the 2nd quarter. Oak Grove in front, 7-6. Junior quarterback Landon Graves is going to bring the Eagles out. 2 receivers split wide to the left, nobody to the right. Strickland, the lone running back, with him in the backfield. Graves will drift into the gun. Eagles traveling now from right to left on your radio dial. Sends Wiley in motion across the formation. Looks to throw, puts air under it. He's got a receiver downfield. It's going to be incomplete. Nice job of coverage that time for the Tigers, as it looked like he was looking for Lovelady, Daniel, and just unable to make the connection.
That was a kind of a slow developing play, a little misdirection. They put Wiley in motion around kind of like the pitch play they did earlier, and then they sent their two tight ends kind of in an X pattern across the field. Barnwhite on the left side, and that was Noah Lovelady on the right. And a tough play for Lovelady there. That ball may have been just underthrown a tad.
2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Get a turnover. Got to do something with it. Graves in the shotgun. 2nd down and 10 at the Tiger 33. Turns, hands this one to Lovelady. Actually, the Tiger defenders were waiting on him to get the handoff so they could tackle him. Gain of nothing. 2nd down, though it's going to be 3rd down now and 10 for the Eagles.
Yeah, number 44 for Oak Grove and number 40 are Caleb Proctor and Darius Nelson. Those are the two linebackers that are shooting the gaps that Stan alluded to earlier, and there they were waiting for Lovelady.
Big play here for the Eagles. Daniel, you got to think this is probably 4-down territory for Ouachita Christian. Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Good snap from center. Landon with some time. He's going to put air into this one. Got a receiver.
Oh, they rule him out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness.
They ruled Culp out of bounds. That was intended for Thomas Culp. Ruled him out of bounds, but he wasn't out of bounds by much there, David. It was he was right there trying to tiptoe along the sidelines.
Yeah, so that one's going to be ruled incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down now at 10 for the Eagles. Fourth down and 10 for Ouachita Christian. It looks like Coach Fitzhugh is going to take a quick timeout. Let's take this time to go down to the sideline and check up with our man on the field with the Marion State Bank sideline report, Stan Humphreys. Stan, got a pretty good ball game going on down there right now.
Yeah, we did. You know, we had a great turnover there by our on our defense there. They were trying to run the dive option. The quarterback was trying to read the dive and tried to pull it. The fullback tried to keep it, and we were able to come up with that turnover, but not able to do anything here offensively. You know, it's 4th and 10. Oak Grove's doing what they've always done for years and years. They're bringing pressure, blitzing up the middle, and now that it's 4th down or 3rd and long, they're playing coverage and trying to make us throw the ball underneath. We've had some opportunities for shots. We just got to make some plays.
Stan, I got to compliment you too, man. You look great on our live stream up here in the press box. We're getting to check you out.
Act like I know what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Thanks, Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Tip our hat too to Coach Q and the crew for getting us getting the live stream on tonight. Great picture as we look down from the press box and on your iPad as well. Big 4th down play here for the Eagles. Able to get the turnover from Oak Grove. And so far, Daniel unable to make a yard on this drive. So 4th down and 10. Landon Graves brings the Eagles out. 2 receivers split wide to his right, 1 to his left. Good snap from center. He's got some time to throw. Puts air into this one. Looking for Wiley. He's got it. Tristan Wiley's got it. It's got to be the 1-yard line. Pass is going to be complete. And a great throw that time by the junior quarterback, but also a great grab by number 3, Tristan Wiley. They needed 10. They got 27. Graves can't hurry him to the line fast enough. 1st down and goal for the Eagles at the 1. Graves has decided to keep this one himself. I don't know how good a choice it was. Now you get a little pushing and shoving at the goal line. A gain of 1 yard on the play, or actually maybe a loss of 1 yard on the play. So it's going to bring up 2nd down now and goal at, let's call it the 2-yard line.
Man, what a catch by Tristan on that. He was in double coverage, David, and Landon gave him a chance to get it, and Tristan reached out and hauled it in, and man, what a play right there on 4th down.
Great throw and a great catch to set up 2nd down and goal. Graves in a hurry to get the Eagles to the line, and in all fairness, I don't know that they were really ready to execute the play when the ball was snapped. Oak Grove's defense is going to be tough down here on the goal line. Eagles find themselves inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone. 2nd down and 2. Our 2nd down and goal at the 2. Graves turns, hands this one to Strickland. There is no chance to bounce the ball to the outside at the 2-yard line. And that one is going to go for a 2-yard loss. Well, it's tough when you see all that penetration, but boy, you stick it up in there and just get, maybe take the no gain. But when you bounce it against a team with speed and penetration, it's going to be tough to do that. So now you're looking at a loss of 2 yards. Now you're looking at 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line, maybe the 4.5.
Proctor's 6'3", 6'4", upwards of 240 pounds. Chaz Strickland, 5'6", 160. No match if he gets his hands on him.
3rd down and goal. Going to send Wiley in motion across the formation. Graves takes this one. Hands to Strickland. He's got a hold. Touchdown! Ouachita Christian. Strickland takes that one in. A nice north to south run that time. And I got to tell you, huge hole opened up by the Ouachita Christian offensive line. And that's going to give the Eagles a lead. And I would think, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen, is the Eagles are probably going to go for 2 here.
Hey, we had a great vantage point from that. That hole opened up. We could have walked through it from up here. It was right there.
Nice job by the guys up front that time. Well, I tell you what, man, this thing is, you talk about games being fought in the trenches. That's what this is. I mean, Oak Grove smacks us for a 2-yard loss, then we pick up a 10-yard gain, a 12-yard. I mean, it's nice to watch these two teams compete, as always. The Eagles are going to go for 2 here to try and add to the 12-7 lead. Graves in the shotgun. They're going to run the option. Landon's going to keep this one himself, and he got it. That's going to be good, and the Eagles are going to add to a 12-7 lead, make it 14-7. I tell you what, you got to get that point back.
Yeah.
Great call that time by Steven. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphrey. Stan, I saw where you were standing just a moment ago, so you probably had a good look at the hole as well as we go down to Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report.
It was a great hole. We were able to send Tristan in motion to the other side and make the defense kind of look that way, and then ran back to where Tristan left. Great job by the offensive line, blocking everybody down, kicking the end out, and just turning it up inside. We've got to continue going downhill, not sideline to sideline, with those backers blitzing those gaps between the center and both guards.
Absolutely. Seeing the same thing up here. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Good football game here in Oak Grove, Louisiana, between the Ouachita Christian Eagles and the Oak Grove Tigers. In all fairness, did you really expect anything less?
Oh no, this is the way this game was supposed to be scripted. Smash mouth, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, and every once in a while they'll put the ball in the air, but maybe there's been 4 or 5 pass plays between the two teams this whole first half and halfway through the second quarter here. So this is old school football right here, Dave.
Absolutely. Sam Harrell's going to tee it up at the 40-yard line. Sam's done a nice job kicking the ball deep. Unfortunately, just kind of having them angle out right around the goal line. So this time, Harrell tees it up at the 40-yard line. The Tigers send 2 men deep to receive. Sam gets his leg into this one. This one's going to be a little shorter. Going to be fielded clean at about the 20-yard line. Ooh, and I tell you what, Noah Lovelady is going to introduce himself to number 4, but he is going to bounce this thing, and he's got all kinds of running room. Lovelady missed the initial tackle. Tristan Wiley's going to have to try and make one, and he's not. It's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers. Lovelady just not wrapping up on the top, as he had a good stick, but unable to wrap up on the tackle. And that's going to be a touchdown for the Oak Grove Tigers.
That was a big play right there. Number 4, Cameron Franklin. Some of the players this week told me he was their playmaker on offense, and I was waiting. I didn't know if we would see that, but there it is right there. Cameron Franklin able to make a play on a kickoff return, a short kickoff return, get blocking, and like you said, Noah Lovelady was there. He laid the hit on him, but Franklin never left his feet and able to carry it to the house.
Boy, they say the hit is only half of the tackle.
That's right.
So the Tigers are going to try to tie this football game up. Good snap, good kick. Black's kick goes up, and it's good. We got a tie football game. Only moments ago, the Eagles with a 7-point lead. Now, we got a tie football game. We're going to take a quick break from here at Tiger Stadium. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. About 30's good, John. Welcome back to Tiger Stadium, the campus of Oak Grove High School, Oak Grove, Louisiana. The Ouachita Christian Eagles making a short trip up here to Oak Grove tonight to take on the Tigers. The Eagles come into tonight's contest ranked number 2 in the state, according to the Louisiana according to the Louisiana Sports Writers Association. In Class 1A, the Tigers come in at number 3 in the same poll. 2 and 3 squaring off tonight at Tiger Stadium, and well, just like you'd expect, 2 and 3 meet. Right now, we played a quarter and a half, and it's 14-all.
Yeah, it's back and forth right here. Big plays, big defensive plays, running the ball, and Clack's about to kick it off and give it back to the Eagles here.
Clack tees it up at the 40, and Clack with a nice high end-over-end kick. Fielded cleanly that time by Wiley. Wiley will start off at the 20, across the 25. He's got a little running room. He's across the 30, a nice stiff arm, and he's going to be run out of bounds on the far side of the field for the Tigers. But a nice gain that time by Wiley. The Eagles will start up with decent field position after the 30-yard return.
Yeah, good return by Wiley there, able to get it out close to the 40-yard line, find a little space, wrapped up there by number 1 Ty Porter of the Oak Grove Tigers. But pretty good field position here for the Eagles.
Well, Daniel, they're going to start the drive at the 37. That's always a pretty good place to start your drive from. First down and 10 for the Eagles at their own 37-yard line. Graves brings the Eagles to the line of scrimmage. 1 receiver split wide to his right, 2 to his left. Lone running back with him is Strickland. Keeps this one on the ground to Strickland. Strickland's going to stretch this one. He's got a little running room and a nice job that time of getting it north and south when he could, as it's going to be a gain of 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, trying to give him a wall of blockers there to get him to the edge, and that was a good run, good play design right there, good play call.
6 minutes and 27 seconds left to play in the second quarter. I want to thank the folks at D&H Sporting Goods for tonight's sponsoring tonight and all second quarters for Ouachita Christians. Locations in Bastrop and Sterlington to serve you. Stop by D&H Sporting Goods today. Graves gets a quick snap, throws this one out in the flat. That's actually Culp. Culp's going to catch it. He's going to make 3, 4, 5 Tigers miss. And now we got almost, now we got a push, and it's going to take place, and it's going to be no gain on the play. So it's going to bring up now 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles.
Thomas Culp looking slippery there. He ran into 2 defenders and able to break those first 2 tackles and let some other defenders come. Able to break a 3rd tackle and then eventually brought down for not much of a gain.
Well, 6 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. So the officials will take a hydration break, and we'll take a break by going down to the sideline and checking in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. We want to make Coach Q and them find Stan, and they, watch him scan the field till they can get him on camera.
Oh, they'll find him.
How's it going, Stan?
Yeah, it's going good. Great first down play to get that great yardage, and then that quick pass out in the flat there to Culp. Just the secondary guy came downhill when the ball's in the air and made the collision in the backfield back there, and just a great athlete trying to make guys miss. By that time, there was 4 or 5 of them on him, but big 3rd down right here. Big 3rd down, trying to keep the momentum on our side. We got the touchdown. We lost the momentum on the kickoff return. So trying to keep the momentum on our side, not punt the football back to them right now.
Totally agree. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. And I'm going to agree with Stan here, Daniel. Big 3rd down play for this Eagle offense. Have come up with some big 3rd downs. Have even come up with a big 4th down early tonight. Now, this probably, you don't pick it up here, you're probably going to punt the football. But Graves in the shotgun. Strickland behind him in the gun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. They're going to run the option. Graves with all kinds of running room, but he decides to pitch this one to Strickland. And I think Coach Fitzhugh is going to have a real serious thought, depending on where they spot this ball.
It's close.
And if the Eagles get a good spot, it's going to be 1st down and 10. If they get a bad spot, it's going to be 4th down and inches. Right now, it is going to be a 1st down.
Yep.
So the Eagles pick up a 1st down, brought to you by the folks at Community Pharmacy. 1st down and 10. As they spot this football, it looks like at about the Eagle 47-yard line. 14 all. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, good run by Strickland there. Met a defender with a yard to go before the 1st down and able to fall forward and pick it up. prolong this drive.
First down and 10 for the Eagles. Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Good snap from Samuel, a little low. He's going to turn. Hands this one off. A nice hard run inside by Zach White. And White picks up 5 yards on the carry. Now that is what is referred to as north and south running, as Zach planted his leg and just got up there and took what they gave him. So it's going to be a pickup of 5, bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Eagles. But we got a penalty marker on the far side of the field. Let's go down to Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Stan, what you got down there?
Well, it looks like the official on our sideline is talking about the official on the other sideline. So to me, they're talking about alignment. He's wanting to know if the guy on the other side of the field was on. I had a guy off over here, so they're trying to count how many were in the backfield. So that's what's going on right now. It looks like it's going to be against us.
All right, thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Boy, that's a really tough call. Okay, so we'll take the 5-yard penalty. And bring up. Well, it looks should remain, I would guess.
I think so.
First down. There we go. First down and 15 now for the Eagles. So hit with the alignment penalty. So now it's going to be first down and 15. They back the Eagles up to their own 42-yard line. Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Good snap from center. They're going to run the option. Graves is going to cut this one up. Maybe should have pitched that football. Going to be a gain of 1 yard on the play. But, boy, tough defense by the Tigers that time, as it's going to bring up now 2nd down and 14 for the Eagles following the penalty.
Yeah, I hate to see that run on the previous play by Zach White negated, but you ready for this? Today's Zach White's birthday, so happy birthday, Zach White.
Happy birthday to Zach White. Nothing's a great way to celebrate your birthday by scoring a touchdown against Oak Grove. 2nd down and 14 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 42-yard line, or actually, let's call it 43. Graves in the shotgun gets a good snap this time. Now he looks to throw, and he could make a sandwich back there with time. He's got a man downfield. That's Wally. Wally almost came up with the ball. Boy, that is one that you really hope Tristan would have come up with, as it looked like he had pretty good coverage. A well-thrown football that time by Graves, and looked like it got into Tristan's body, unable to wrap it up, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 14 for the Eagles.
Yeah, that was a good throw deep in the field, give Tristan a chance to go and get the ball. He had Brock Hogan on this side, Tristan Wiley on that side, and it looked like for a moment there was a window before they reached that safety coverage where Landon could have ripped it in there.
Big play here. Stan alluded to it only a moment ago, and they were able to convert, and unfortunately the penalty sets them back. So now you're looking at 3rd down and 14. Send Lovelady in motion across the formation. Graves is going to roll and look to throw. Throws back across the formation. Put his knee on the ground, so he's down where he caught the football. Really not the right way to handle a low ball, as you kind of have to go down with your hands much more so than your knee, and that's going to be a problem. I'm sure Stan will probably tell us in the NFL that's just fine, but out here it's going to be a loss of 2 yards, and the Eagles are going to have to punt the football.
Oh man, he didn't have a lot of space to work with. So loss of 4 or 5 yards from where he went down on his knee and actually got tackled. Either way, I think the Eagles are in a position to punt.
Well, the Tigers don't really send anybody deep, as they keep everybody within about 15 yards of the ball. And Graves is going to punt this one. He's going to hammer this one. And I think the Tigers are going to pay for not having anybody deep this time. They're going to pay a heavy price. No return. That's going to travel inside the 10-yard line. And that's going to be where the Tigers start this drive. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Boy, Stan, I tell you what, you can put your knee down in the pros, though, can't you?
Yeah, you can put it down as long as nobody touches you.
That's right.
You know, we were sprinting out to the right there trying to throw a throwback screen to the backside, and I felt like Landon then needed to when he rolled out, he needed to stop, plant his foot, and go on and use that arm that he has and put something on it and get it to that screen guy quick. There might have been a lane there if he didn't have to go to his knee, but that's a good call there, trying to get that long yardage there.
He had a convoy set up for him, Stan. He did. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Punt covers 49 yards, no return. First down and 10 for the Tigers at their own 9, and they got some running room. They got a gash in this Eagle secondary, and that's going to be a nice run that time by number 23-2 for Oak Grove. That's Zach Hegwood, and Hegwood picks up 19 yards on first down. Gives the Tigers a little breathing room as they'll spot this football now at the Oak Grove 29-yard line.
Yeah, you want to make a big stop right here if you're OCS. 3 minutes to go here in the half.
Tigers turn again. They hand to the deep back in the eye, and this time there is not going to be anything there as the Eagle defense stiffens. No gain on the play, so it's going to bring up second down and 10.
Defensive line stepping in right there and able to drag him down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be interesting to see if Oak Grove opens up the playbook here with time running out. They have I think they have all their timeouts left. Is that right?
I don't remember the Tigers taking a timeout. I don't remember the Eagles taking one, honestly. Second down and 10. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here in the half. That's a nice quick throw out in the flat, but the Eagle defense is there. Boy, that's a stinging defense that time. A gain of 2 yards on the play, but the Oak Grove receiver on the far side of the field is going to take a big shot. That's Ty Porter, and Porter with a nice catch. Boy, I tell you what, the Eagle defense had that one timed out right. Gain of 2 is going to set up the Oak Grove Tigers with third down and 8.
Looked like sophomore number 41 Maddox King with a big hit there to limit any yardage on that play.
Minute and 50, clock continues to run. Left to play here in the second quarter. Bradley goes under center. He's going to pull this one. Looks to run the option. Ball was on the ground for a moment. Now the Eagles, I would imagine, are going to try to call a quick timeout here. A minute and 30 left to play, and well, the clock continues to run.
There he is. Yep.
And they do. So a minute 24 seconds. Coach Fitzhugh will call his time. A minute 24 seconds actually, but the clock here saying a minute and 22. So with a minute and 22 seconds, the Eagles are going to have a chance to run the 2-minute offense. Let's go down to the sideline to check in with Stan Humphreys of the Marion State Bank sideline report. Stan, I know you played the position for a long time, just like my former broadcast partner did. He seemed to love an opportunity to run the 2-minute drill with about a minute and 20 or 30 left to play in the half.
Yeah, it's a good time for the quarterback because you can actually run some things that maybe you're seeing on the field that maybe the coach on the sideline's not seeing. So you're able to get out there, you're able to get that defensive line a little bit tireder because they rush more frequently and a lot faster, and just being able to put something together and you making the calls to play the passes that you like. Right here, hoping for a bad punt, and we got about a minute and 22 left here to get it in the end zone.
Thanks a lot. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Thomas Clack will line up to punt this football. So the Eagles are going to go punt safe on this as they'll send 2 men deep, Clack and Culp. Or Clack, Wiley and Culp. Clack's going to have to punt it. It's tough for him to be deep as well. Clack gets a low snap, but he handles it. It's going to be a high spiraling kick, fielded cleanly by Wiley, and Wiley will take a knee. So here we go. We're going to get to see Landon Graves and this Ouachita Christian offense open up for a little bit. We'll see how the Eagles respond. Minute, 16 seconds. Punt covered 33 yards, no return. I think the interesting thing, too, here is I think we're going to have 2 timeouts left.
One. We have one
left?
We have 1 timeout left.
All right, so 1 timeout left. Of course, in high school, you pick up a first down, they reset the sticks. You go out of bounds, they stop the clock. Incompletions, you stop the clock. So a lot of opportunities. Maybe try to get something in field goal range. Graves sends a man in motion across the formation. Good snap from center, rolls, looks downfield, looks to throw, and does. And that one's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Wiley.
Oh, that's a catch.
And actually, well, you know what? I stand corrected. A gain of 9 yards on the play. Tristan can, well, I'm sure I'll probably get bad mouth on the far side of the field. Gain of 9, second down and 1.
Clock's continuing to run.
Clock runs with a minute left to play here in the half. Graves gets a good snap from center, sends 4 out into the pattern, looks to throw and does.
Oh.
And that one, oh my goodness. Ooh, Lordy.
Uh-huh.
That was and I got to tell you something too. The creepy thing about that is if that gets caught, I don't think there's anybody within 30 yards of him. That's returned for a touchdown. So the Eagles are going to be the beneficiaries of a poor play that time, as it looked like it was heading into the hands of Zach Hegwood, and Hegwood just unable to come down with it. 3rd down and 1. 50 seconds left to play here in the half. Eagles need to pick up the first down. Graves in the shotgun, turns. They're going to give this one to Strickland. He's got some running room. He's across the 45-yard line, and it looks like they're going to give him the first down. The clock will stop while they reset the sticks. Gain of 9 yards on the play. Still waiting on the chains, and they've already started the clock. So now we've got 34 seconds left. Graves looks to throw. Does. Got a man, and that's going to be over the outstretched arms of Tristan Wiley.
Yeah, Graves taking a hit as he released that ball. Looked like it was overthrown just a little bit, but now the clock stops. You get to reset, take some time, hopefully draw up something to move the ball down the field. I anticipate the Eagles to work the sidelines here to try to maintain the clock with 2nd down and 10 coming up.
2nd down and 10. The ball at the Oak Grove 44-yard line. Don't really know what we have as far as in the way of, the range of any of the Eagle kickers. But it is going to be 2nd down and 10. Ball at the Oak Grove 44-yard line. 26 seconds left to play in the half. Graves gets a good snap. Fakes a screen. Now he sets one up out in the flat, and that's incomplete. Not really sure where that was headed. And not sure, maybe a screen trying to set something up to Strickland over here, but we got a penalty marker on the field on the far side.
Yeah, it looked like the screen was disrupted, so Landon rolls out and just throws it away.
So now we'll wait on an indication from the official.
What?
How could it? So that wasn't a stoppage of play, so not sure how how we had a legal procedure. Not really sure what the call will be. Let's go down to the sideline, check in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report.
Well, it's the same thing that was called a while ago, guys. It's too many guys in the backfield, not enough guys on the line of scrimmage. One of our receivers on, I believe, your side of the field is not on the line of scrimmage. All he's got to do is ask the official, am I on? And he'll give him thumbs up. If he holds his arm off, that means he's off the ball.
Yeah, he's trying, Stan, to try and get the indication now. Thanks a lot. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Graves gets a good snap from center, looks downfield, looks to throw, unleashes a
Hamby.
Hamby's going, yes, one touchdown! Ouachita Christian! Hamby's going to haul it in. Great throw by Graves and a nice catch by the freshman. Touchdown pass is going to cover 44 yards. And Hamby with a great route got the separation he needed, and we've got a flag way downfield. Way downfield. They're going to call a holding against the Eagles. A lot of
Man, what a route by Hamby and what a dime by Landon Graves. He dropped that in the bucket, and man, you hate to see a penalty on that play.
boy, I tell you, that's a back-breaking call. It happened kind of right there in the vicinity of Stan. Stan was at least down there close. Let's go down to Stan with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Stan, bad hold?
Guys, they got two guys, one with their guy, one with our guy. They're blocking. He's blocking them. They're pushing on each other. The guy falls down. The ball's down on the goal line going into the end zone, and he drops the flag out of his pocket when the ball was crossing the goal line.
Wow. Well, now it looks like we may have gotten an adder penalty on top of it. So now they're going to back us up another 15 yards. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Boy, I tell you, it's a tough series of events there as the Eagles get hit with a holding call and now a personal foul call. So that's going to back us up. Instead of having a touchdown, we're going to have the ball with 13 seconds now. First down and about a quarter of a mile for the Eagles. Boy, I tell you, really tough break. A series of penalties there that, let's see. That's actually third down now and 40. Probably the Eagles may be content to now we're going to have a timeout taken by the Eagles, or actually by Oak Grove. Let's go down back to the sideline. Stan Humphreys in the Marion State Bank sideline report. Yeah, Stan, it looked like they may have hit us with an unsportsmanlike on top of the hole.
I don't know, guys. Like I said, the ball was crossing the goal line when the flag came out of his pocket.
Yeah, it's a tough break for the Eagles. A heck of a throw, though, Stan, as Graves actually put that one right on top of Tate down there at the goal line.
Yeah, it was a great job by the O-line up here, giving him great protection to be able to wait that out and put the ball out in front of Tate and let him run to it.
Yeah, nice to see the catch and the throw, but the Eagles, unfortunately, not the beneficiaries on that, as that's a tough back breaking call. But you know, the Eagles now find themselves with the ball third down and 40 at their own 25-yard line with 13 seconds left to play in the half. Don't know how many timeouts the Tigers would have. I'd hate to give them the ball with any time on the clock, but you may have to run this one out and try to punt the football. Third down and 40 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 25-yard line. Graves goes to work out of the shotgun. One receiver to his right, two to his left. Graves with all kinds of time. He's going to put some air into this one. Looks for Wiley, and that one's going to go just over his outstretched hand. So with 6 seconds left to play in the half, the Eagles are going to have to punt this football.
I watch it on TV, but when I'm in person, I just like,
Be interesting to see how the Tigers line up to receive this punt, or if they're going to go after the punt, or if they're going to play it safe. Landon Graves again, quarterback, also the punter, dropping back deep to take the snap to kick the ball down the field. And they do have a return man on this punt.
Fourth down and 40 for Ouachita Christian. Graves punts.
He got a piece of it.
And that's going to bring an end to the first half of play. And after the first half of play, you got a 14-14 ball game as the Ouachita Christian Eagles stay tied here with the Oak Grove Tigers. We're going to take a quick break here at the half. I want to invite everybody to tune into the scoreboard show on 92.3. The Wolf gets you caught up on a lot of scores from around the area. They do such a great job back in the studio with the show. But from here in Oak Grove, Louisiana, the Ouachita Christian Eagles are tied up with the Oak Grove Tigers 14-14. We'll take our break and invite you to tune into the halftime show. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. How long on the scoreboard can we get? I'm going to try to
A couple that stand out to me first is the time of possession. OCS at 14.5 minutes, Oak Grove at just over 9 minutes. So OCS doing a good job of taking their time and being intentional. 34 plays for 122 yards on offense. Oak Grove with 20 plays for 97 yards. OCS 21 rushing attempts for 90 yards. Oak Grove 18 for 84 yards. Landon Graves is 4 of 13 for 32 yards. And Bradley for Oak Grove is 2 of 2 for 13 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. One turnover by Oak Grove on the fumble that was lost. And 9 first downs for OCS, 8 for Oak Grove. Let's see. OCS is 5 for 10 for 50% on third down conversions. Oak Grove for 2 of 5 for 40%. No fourth down attempts for Oak Grove. OCS is 1 of 1. 4 penalties for 25 yards for OCS. 1 for Oak Grove for 10 yards, and then OCS has 3 punts, averaging 36.7 yards per punt. Oak Grove with 2 punts for 31.5 yards. Looks like time of possession is there's a little differentiation there, but other than that, it's kind of 1 for 1 all the way down the stat sheet. Chad Strickland leading the way for all rushers with 15 carries for 73 yards and both touchdowns for the Eagles. Tristan Wiley with 2 catches for 34 yards. 5 carries for number 22, I believe that's Hedgewood. 5 carries for 50 yards.
Well, both teams have made their way back out onto the field for tonight's second half. The Tigers just now coming out of the locker room. The Tigers coming playing in their home black jerseys, almost all black with white numbers. Tonight the Sideline Report, and every night our Sideline Report is brought to you by the fine folks at Marion State Bank. Let Marion State Bank handle all your banking and loan needs, including mortgages. Convenient to serve our Ouachita Christian family with locations in Sterlington, Drew, Farmerville, and Marion. Marion State Bank proudly supports Ouachita Christian athletics. Remember to bank local with Marion State Bank. Community banking is not just what we do, it's who we are. I'd also like to thank the fine folks at Forsyth Avenue Church of Christ, longtime supporters of supporting education for time and eternity at Ouachita Christian School. Everybody invited to join us at Forsyth for the 10 a.m. Sunday worship service. And John Dobbs and my broadcast partner here, Daniel Kirkendall, always doing a really, really good job with our worship service. And I'd like to invite you down to Forsyth as well. Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the broadcast tonight. Thank the fine folks at Sterlington Physical Therapy for their support of the halftime show. Sterlington Physical Therapy is located at 8649 Highway 165 North. You can call Craig today at 235-9326 to set up your appointment. Both teams have made their way out onto the field. As we get ready for the kickoff. Clack is going to approach this one at the 40-yard line. Gets his leg into it. He gets a nice high kick. And that's going to be fielded by Tristan Wiley. Wiley's going to have a nice return, moving the pile, and he's going to be dropped at around the 34-yard line, where the Eagles will take over and start their first drive here in the second half. Gain of 18 yards on the return. First down and 10 for the Eagles.
Solid return there by Tristan Wiley, number 3, the senior, trying to find some space in the middle of the field. Able to pick up a few extra yards, moving the pile a little bit. Tristan Wiley's a big kid, 6'3". He's listed at 6'3", 190, and so good return there for Wiley to give us field position for our first possession of this second half.
Eagles traveling from right to left on your radio dial. First down and 10 for Ouachita Christian, ball at their own 34-yard line. Junior quarterback Landon Graves brings the Eagles out. Going to turn, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland almost loses the football and does. Now he falls on it. Boy, barely really got a handle on it. Thought he got it, Daniel, and had established possession. Apparently didn't, but able to fall forward, pick up 3 yards, and more importantly, maintain possession. Now the Eagles looking at 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, a nice escape there by Chad, able to fall on his own fumble. But I like the play call there. They put Barham White in the backfield as an H-back type blocking back, and Chad just followed him right in the hole. And there was room there. It looks like somebody reached in and punched it out right when he crossed the line of scrimmage. 2nd
down and 7 for the Eagles. Ball now at their own 37-yard line. Turns, hands this one to Strickland, and Strickland's going to get met in the hole. Going to be a loss on the play. Big time defensive play that time by the Tigers up front. It's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. So now you're going to be looking at another big 3rd down here. 3rd down and 8 for the Eagles. They spot this ball at the Eagle 36-yard line. 10 minutes and 51 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Tie game, 14-all. Big 3rd down play here for the Eagles as Graves brings the Eagles to the line. He'll send 2 receivers wide to his left. A split end to his right. Graves calls for the ball. Now he's going to have time to throw and does. Unloads a long one down the middle of the field, and it's going to be incomplete. Actually, a nice job back there in the secondary for the Oak Grove Tigers as he was looking for Lovelady and had him behind it. But actually, Daniel, looked like that may have been a little bit shorter underthrown as the Tiger defender able to get his hand on it. It's going to bring up 4th down, and the Eagles are going to have to punt the ball.
Yeah, we had pressure coming up the middle. That's been the story of the night for Oak Grove's defense, is getting pressure and disrupting up the middle. So Landon having to kind of probably couldn't even see Lovelady there when he tried to deliver the ball to him.
Oh, Graves going to get a low snap from center. He's going to mishandle this one, and it looks like the Oak Grove Tigers may have come up with a fumble recovery. It's going to be interesting to see. But no, Lovelady comes up with it, but it's really irrelevant because it was 4th down. So the Tigers are going to take over. Boy, special teams can really hurt you this time of the well, it can hurt you anytime, and that's going to be a really costly turnover. As he got a low snap that time. Landon, I think, did the best he could to get his hand on it, but unfortunately unable to secure it, and it's going to be 1st down and 10 for Oak Grove, deep in Eagle territory now to start this drive. 1st down and 10, ball at the Eagle 23-yard line. Bradley brings the Tigers to the line with an eye backfield behind him. Going to give this one to the deep back in the eye. He's going to make one Eagle defender. One's going to break a tackle. And he's going to look like they had him for about a 2-yard gain. But that's going to put him inside the 10-yard line. Let's call it, gain of, Donnie's going to say he picked up 18 yards on the play. So that's going to set the Tigers up now, 1st down and 10 at the Eagle 8-yard line.
Yeah, good run there, able to maintain his balance after he gets hit in the backfield. Wiley making essentially what is a touchdown saving tackle, but Tigers threatening here inside the Eagle 10-yard line.
1st down and 10 for Oak Grove. Their first possession of the 2nd half. Bradley turns, hands this one inside. Actually keeps it himself, and the Eagles trying to strip the football, but they'll bring Bradley down. May have made it back to the line of scrimmage, and I don't think they're going to be able to give him much more. Now we've got a penalty marker on the play.
As we wait to see what this penalty is, that looked like Casey Cobb at the point of impact there with a good tackle, able to stand him up while other Eagle defenders were trying to get the ball out of his hands.
We got an unsportsmanlike conduct call. It's going to go against Oak Grove, and that's going to be a big penalty. That's going to back him up 15 yards. Not really sure. It looked like they were just kind of unpiling the pile, and the Tigers may have picked something up, but the officials are going to hit them with 15 yards. That's a big penalty down here in the red zone.
Yeah, you got 22 players on the field. About 21 of them were in on that pile there. So I don't know if I don't know what they saw. Something we couldn't see from up here, but
so
the Eagles
the Tigers,
will take that.
Tigers were looking at 3rd and goal from about the, let's call it the 9-yard line, 8-yard line. Now they're going to be looking at 2nd down and 13 at the Eagle 22.
Maybe 2nd goal, won't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. They still got the sticks out. It should be 2nd and goal, but the chains are still there. You guys are absolutely correct. So 2nd and goal from the 23-yard line. Bradley goes under center. One fullback behind him.
He's
going to keep this one himself. He's going to have some tough running and going to get across the 20-yard line. Going to be just shy of the 15, a gain of 6 yards. So now you're going to be looking at third down.
Like Avery Pilgreen, number 55, the senior. Again, Casey Cobb, number 56, and number 11, Zach White, in on that tackle. Good job. As Bradley tried to keep it and go around the left edge, they went with the single back that time, something we hadn't seen a lot in terms of what Oak Grove is presenting right here.
Third down and goal for the Oak Grove Tigers. Ball at the Eagles' 16-yard line. 8 minutes and 36 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Tie football game. Bradley is going to go under center. And Bradley's going to get hit, and now he's going to well, it's got to be intentional grounding at a minimum, unless they call it a fumble.
It was a lateral.
If it's a fumble, he's going to lose more yardage throwing it backwards. That's going to take him out of field goal range, definitely. Unless Clack's got a lot bigger leg than what I think, because that will put the ball out of bounds at the, well, let's call it 35-yard line. Fourth down now and a bundle for the Tigers. Probably looking that time at Bradley, maybe eating that one, taking the loss and moving on, but it is going to bring up a, well, third down and a bundle. Fourth down in a bundle, excuse me. It's still got third down on the marker across the way. Fourth down in a bundle. Bradley is going to go under center. It's definitely 4-down territory. Bradley turns. He's going to look to throw. Getting a little bit of pressure. Now he's going to pull it down. Looks to throw and does. He gets hit as he throws. That's going to be incomplete. But we got another penalty marker on the play. And probably could have gone either way, but again, penalty markers, boy, I tell you, lots of them out here on the field. Now, the good thing is, in high school, I don't think an automatic first down is going to result from this.
That's right.
If the Tigers are able to get the penalty, it's still going to make them short, and they would turn over on downs. So to get against OCS, I don't think that's an automatic first, so it's still going to be fourth down. So they'll mark off the penalty, but Oak Grove is still going to be faced with trying to convert here.
Coach Gregory not happy. I don't know what he saw, but he's not happy with something. And Oak Grove able to retain the ball here with another shot at fourth and goal.
So now, boy, I tell you, penalties all over the field in this game. So fourth down now, 25. Well, fourth down from the 25 for Oak Grove. So essentially, fourth and 25 since it's fourth and goal. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to play. Here in the third quarter, all tied 14-all. Bradley in the shotgun. Haven't seen a lot of him in the gun, and now he looks to throw. He's getting a little bit of pressure from the Eagles. Going to throw this one. It's going to be complete, but it's fourth down, so the Eagles are going to take over on down. First down and 10 for the Eagles.
A lot of pressure there by the OCS defensive line, particularly number 56, Cobb. So the Tigers able to essentially throw a punt there, move the ball deeper into Eagle territory, so that make a longer field for the Eagles to have to put points on the board.
Nice job by the Eagle defense that time, but also, really tough penalty for the Tigers as they dinged themselves with an unsportsmanlike conduct that really backed them up and got them behind the chains and put them in what you see kind of clearly is not what really they like to do, Daniel. They like to run the ball and pound the ball. You spread them out and start throwing it, and it becomes a little bit difficult for the Tigers. First down and 10 following the turnover on downs for the Eagles. But they're gonna be backed up at their own 8-yard line. Landon Graves brings them out. 2 receivers split wide to his right, 1 to his left. Eagles traveling from right to left on your radio dial. Graves gets a good snap this time from center. Pulls this one down and looks to throw. He's got a man downfield. Yes. That's Wiley.
Yes.
Wiley's gonna haul it in at the 40-yard line. Great catch that time from Wiley. And you could almost sense it when he got up too, Daniel. He's like, about time. And believe it or not, no markers on the field.
No markers on the field. The Eagles hurrying to the line here.
And we've got a Tiger shaking up on the play.
Well, Wiley was one-on-one coverage there, and if you're Landon Graves, you know, a light bulb goes off in your head when you see Wiley one-on-one on the outside.
Great throw that time and a nice catch. Gain of 34 yards on the play. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. How's it going, Stan?
Well, it's good. You know, guys, that defensive stand there, they actually called a pass interference down there, and that's what got them back down there on that 4th down and gave them the 10 yards, and then they completed the pass down and turned the ball over to us. But, you know, good job there by the O-line up front with great protection there to hold the ball a little bit for Landon to put it out there for Tristan. You know, the number 1 was injured on the field right there for Oak Grove. That's the guy that's been following Tristan all night, all over the field, covering him. He's leaving the game right now with a cramp or whatever. You might look for a shot right now to Tristan.
You wouldn't find his replacement, would you, Stan?
You dang right I would.
Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. I sat up here with Saul for several years, Daniel. I guarantee you Saul was always like, you got to find who came in for him. 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Nice throw and catch out to Wiley. Graves operates out of the shotgun. 2 receivers split wide to the left, 1 to the right. The 1 to the right is Tristan Wiley. Going to turn, play action pass, looks to throw. Wiley's wide open. Someone's caught it. He's at the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Ouachita Christian. No flags.
Hey, Stan Humphreys called that one right there. He said, this is how you can do it right here. If he goes off the field, you look for his replacement. Great call, Stan. Great throw by Landon Graves for the touchdown.
Touchdown pass covers 57 yards as the Eagles go back on top. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with the aforementioned Stan Humphreys.
Well, you know, you were talking about that you used to have a quarterback in Saul Graves in the box with you, and he would make that comment, and the same thing I saw. You look at Drew Vadrine, who's the offensive coordinator. He played quarterbacks also. So you're looking at 4 quarterbacks right there that were looking at one guy the whole time on the field to make a play, and puts us up right now 21-14. Big play.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Spencer Elkins on for the extra point attempt for the Eagles, and it's good as Ouachita Christian finally gets a lead over the Oak Grove Tigers now 21-14. And I got to tell you, man, you got this sense that this ball game you're going to need every point to try and win this thing because it may come down to whoever gets it last. But both teams doing a good job of moving the football. And boy, I tell you what, a heck of a football game happening over here at Oak Grove High School tonight.
I'll tell you what, you know, the first half was just run. And what that does is that sets up a game of endurance. And so running the ball like that is going to take its toll on your offensive line, both teams. But now you're going to see which teams, is conditioned for a game like this. And OCS is taking advantage of any fatigue that the Oak Grove sidelines has, including cramp to their DB who's been shadowing Wiley all night.
Man, high school football at its finest. 7 minutes and 55 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Ouachita Christian 21, Oak Grove 14. Sam Harrell's going to tee this one up at the 40-yard line. The Tigers, obviously, with a couple of dangerous return men. One of them's already gone to the house tonight. This one is going to travel down inside the 5-yard line. They're going to look to try and set up a seam here. Not going to take this one to the house. Eagle defense is there. And now we got a little pushing and shoving away from the ball. And we need to make sure cooler heads prevail, keep things going as the Eagles travel off the field. On the return that time for the Tigers, it looked like possibly, dang, I can't make out the numbers, number 4, who actually took that to the house last time, Cameron Franklin. Gain of 12 yards on the return, 1st down and 10 for the Oak Grove Tigers. Ball at their own 16-yard line. I want to thank the fine sponsor tonight of tonight's 3rd quarter, Valerie Van Mathern, attorney at law specializing in estate planning and successions. Call her today, 318-807-9030 to schedule your appointment. 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. They keep this one on the ground, and their fullback is going to fall forward. A nice, tough run inside, a gain of 4 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, that was the best kickoff that we've seen from Sam Harrell, probably this season, able to kick it deep inside the 5 and even caught the return men off guard as they were drifting back, and he put his hand on it, stayed in bounds, and number 4 was able to pick up a few yards, but great kick, great coverage by the Eagles there.
2nd down and 6 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 20-yard line. Bradley operates under center. He's going to turn. He hands this one off, and that's going to be number 22 for the Tigers. Let's see if we can make out. That's actually Zach Hegwood. I don't know why I'm having a tough time figuring out Zach. We've seen him running the ball through our defense all night tonight. Another nice gain on the play, a gain of 13 yards for Hegwood that time.
Yeah, quality run right there by Hegwood. We'll pick up a first down.
So the Tigers find themselves first down and 10. Ball now at their own 34-yard line. 6 minutes and 51 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Ouachita Christian 21, Oak Grove 14. Bradley under center. An eye backfield behind him. He's going to turn. Looked like he was going to hand it to the fullback, but instead pulled it himself. Bradley, really not much of a speed guy, Daniel, but just a big body.
Yeah.
Kind of falls forward, lumbers forward, but picks up 13 yards on the play, and that's going to be enough for another Oak Grove first down. Looked like the Eagles had him stopped, sandwiched at the mesh point. Bradley senses it, he pulls it, and they pick up 13 on the play. First down and 10 for Oak Grove in Tiger territory, ball at their own 47-yard line. Oak Grove traveling from left to right on your radio dial. Bradley turns, hands this one to the deep back in the eye, and the Eagle defense is waiting. Big play that time in the backfield. No gain on the play. Going to bring up second down and 10.
Yeah, great stop right there. That looked like number 11, Zach White, in on the tackle. So no gain, bringing up second and 10. So Eagles came out throwing the ball a little bit. We haven't seen that from the Oak Grove Tigers here in the second half. They're content with running the ball and running the ball and running the ball again.
Well, the Tigers were kind of content that time to let it wind down to hydration timeout. They go to 6 minutes left in each quarter, give these guys a chance during the month of September to get a little hydration. Let's take a chance, go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Hey, Stan, how's it going down there?
Going good, guys. You know, this is a big drive in the game. We gained a lot of momentum there with that long pass. Go ahead and, to come back and allow them to start putting a drive together here. We need to stop them and make them punt the football. In the position it's in right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking at 4 downs every time to get a first down here to keep the ball out of our hands. But our defensive front right now needs to stay lower and stay under their pads. We're starting to stand up, and they're getting under us and kind of driving us back right now.
Stan, I'm not a defensive lineman, never claimed to be one, never claimed to know a lot about it. But I want to understand, when you get it's a lot tougher to do when you get tired, right?
Oh, there's no doubt. First thing you want to do when you're tired is stand up. It's easier on your legs.
Right. Thanks a lot. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. What that tells me is these guys are going to have to dig. They're going to have to dig deep and try to find that extra gear to respond to this running attack that Oak Grove is putting together. And again, they go right on the ground. It's a huge hit in the backfield. Stan said we're going to have to do something to answer the ground game, and they do. That's going to put the Tigers behind the chains. Loss of 4 yards on the play. Huge play that time by the Eagle defense. Having said that, you've got to think that Oak Grove's probably looking at 4-down territory here. So, maybe they get a little bit of it back here. But, boy, I tell you what, huge play that time by the Eagle defense.
That was number 56, Casey Cobb. We've said his name a number of times here in the second half. Casey Cobb actually set the single-season sack record last year for OCS Eagles with 11 sacks on the year. That was a tackle for loss. Wasn't a sack, but still good to see the penetration right after Stan called for it. He's able to get low and get the big hit.
Third down play here. Bootleg. Bradley looks to throw. Does. That one's going to be intercepted. It's going to be picked off by Culp. Culp's across the 50-yard line. Now he's got some running room. Now he's going to go across the 45. In Tiger territory at the 40. Run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Huge turnover there. No penalty markers on the field. First down. Ouachita Christian. Great job that time by Culp. Happened right over there in front of Stan Humphreys. Stan, it looked like a nice job by Culp putting himself in front of that one.
Yeah, they ran a little play action and tried to bootleg the quarterback out to weak side. We did a great job on the containment, so that when we contained him, he was in trouble, and that freshman just kind of put the ball up in the air, and for anybody to get it, Culp made a nice interception and a great run to put us back in their territory here in the third quarter, still with 5 minutes to go.
Thanks Thanks a lot, Stan. And unfortunately for Oak Grove, we've got a Tiger that's shaken up on the play, being attended to on the far side of the field. And crowd here at Tiger Stadium just giving this young man a moment of silence. He's going to get up on his feet under his own power. Looks like he'll be kind of helped off the field, but shaken up on the play. But looks like he's going to be all right, and he'll make his way over here to the sideline. Well, the Eagles are going to find themselves with the football, first down and 10 at the Oak Grove 33-yard line. 5 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Eagles lead this contest 21-14. And I got to tell you, Daniel, to me, I mean, you've got to score here because, I mean, you're going to need 2 touchdowns. You're going to have to hang on the whole time.
That's right. You know, we saw, well, last time we scored, Sam Harrell came out and kicked the PAT. And he's got a little range on his foot, but you definitely would love to be in a 2-score lead, a position with a 2-score lead here as the third quarter is winding down. So the Eagles are going to be looking to put points on the board, no question.
First down and 10 for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Landon Graves brings the Eagles to the line. 3 receivers part of the set. 2 running backs join him in the shotgun. Graves going to call for the ball. Hands this one to Strickland. And, boy, I tell you what, Strickland lost the football. That's on the ground. That's twice tonight they've had trouble with that handoff. And, boy, I tell you what, that can become really costly. Actually going to bring up now, well, let's see. Second down and 10 for the Eagles.
It was an interesting play there. They run a counter handoff where Strickland takes a jab step to the inside and takes the handoff and heads to the outside. That was almost an inverted counter play where he jabbed outside and then took the handoff and tried to get up the middle there, but didn't quite get a good grip on it, and the ball slipped out.
Not a lot of time for the jab step with the penetration you're seeing from Oak Grove's front 4. Graves in the shotgun. Calls for the ball. Going to give this one to Strickland. Strickland's got a little seam. Jump cut. Nice jump cut that time as Strickland squirts through as he found a little bit of room and did a great job as he slipped through. Gain of 11 yards on the play, and that's going to be more than enough for a community pharmacy first down.
Well, like they just said, hey, let's run that same play again, but this time let's hold on to the football, and there you go. That's the play they wanted to run, able to pick up a first down. Great run, great call.
Well, you got to think Ouachita Christian's defensive line was getting a little gassed on that last drive. The Tiger defensive line going to be getting a little gassed as OCS continues to push this football. First down and 10. Ball at the Tiger 23-yard line. Graves in a shotgun, an I formation set beside him. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Turns, looks to throw, does. That's another great throw, and that could be a problem. Nobody is going to catch him. Landon Graves with a really ill-advised throw that time as he threw it right into the hands of the defender. No penalty markers on the play, and that's going to be a touchdown for Oak Grove. Boy, I tell you what, I told you, you're going to need every touchdown you can get.
That's right. That's right. And we have the vantage point. We get to see things almost with a bird's eye view. And it looks like Landon would have been better off after he felt that presence to just bring the ball down and try to pick up what he could. I mean, he had 2 defenders in his face right there. Tried to lob it over them, but able to tip it up and pretty much rebound the ball and take it all the way back to the house.
Tough turnover and a good play that time by the Tiger defense as the Eagles give up a pick 6. Clack comes on to attempt the extra point and does. Picks up, and it's good. We got a tie football game. Oak Grove 21, Ouachita Christian 21. Boy, I tell you what, man, how fast the momentum turns.
I tell you what, man, we were in great position.
Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan. And well, I tell you what, Stan, it just seems like, man, you're going to need every point you can get to win this football game.
Yeah, that number 4, he was basically lined up as a defensive end, outside linebacker standing there, and we looked downfield. Landon looked downfield, didn't like it, and we had a guy in the flat wide open. I mean, there wasn't anybody between 15 yards around him. But when he went to throw it, number 4 jumped up, batted the ball in the air, picked it, and took off with it. But if we would have got it over his head to the guy in the flat, it was a huge play for us offensively. So, yeah, back to 21-21 right here. Momentum swing both ways here.
All right, thanks a lot. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Clack is going to tee this one up at the 40-yard line. Eagles send Tristan Wiley deep. Wiley is a very, very dangerous return man. just seems like Daniel has been looking for that one seam to try and break out. Haven't seen it so far this season, but you know the possibilities are there.
He's going to be looking for that seam again right here. Hopefully he'll find it on this one. He's an electric player with the ball in his hands.
Black gets a low line drive kick, and that's going to give Tristan, well, it's actually going to travel into the end zone. So it's going to be no return on the kick. So the Eagles will take over first down and 10. Looks like at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was an athletic play on that interception by number 4. Scored a return touchdown, and now he's got a defensive touchdown. And he's the one I mentioned earlier that, he's kind of their playmaker. If they want a big play, they try to get the ball in his hands. They did it in the return game, and then he created that own opportunity for himself. So now the Eagles are going to take over the ball again and try to move 80 yards down the field to put points on the board.
First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 20-yard line. Graves brings the Eagles out. 3 minutes and 28 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Eagles and Tigers tied at 21. Graves gets a good snap from center. Strickland's got some running room. He's across the 30. He's across the 40, across the 50. Stays on his feet into Tiger territory. Down to the 45-yard line. What a burst out of Jay Strickland. Of course, I immediately look back to make sure there's no laundry on the field, and it's clean.
That's right.
Gain of 35 yards on the play. Eagles already at the line of scrimmage. Graves in the shotgun, calls for the ball, turns, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland's got all kinds of running room on the far side of the field and picks up close to another Eagle first down.
I want to tell you what you're seeing right now, David, is you're seeing these linebackers and this penetration up the middle is slowing down. So the Eagles are trying to hurry up and get to the line and run it again before Oak Grove can make defensive substitutions. Try to keep them on their heels.
And Strickland did have enough for a community pharmacy first down. First down and 10 for the Eagles, already in Tiger territory at the Oak Grove 35. Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers left. One to his right is Wiley. Calls for the ball, turns, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland that time runs into a tough Oak Grove defense. Gain of 3 yards on the play. Another thing, too, worth mentioning, a lot of people don't know, Tristan last week, having an opportunity, Daniel, to commit to play football in college for the United States Air Force Academy up in Colorado Springs. And I tell you what, I think the Air Force can be picking up a good guys. Boys made some really good plays tonight.
No question. A kid with size, a kid with speed, a kid with football, intelligence, and he's a good player wherever you put him on the field. Also, well versed in how to play defense. He's been a starting cornerback for a couple years for the Eagles. So, we're going to wish him well at the end of the season. But right now, we got a game to win.
Second down and 7 for the Eagles. Ball at the Tiger 32-yard line. Graves in the shotgun, sends Lovelady in motion. Going to call his own number. He's got some running room, but boy, it closed up quickly as that Tiger defense was waiting. No gain on the play, so now you're going to be looking at third down and 7, trying to keep this drive alive.
Looked like the linebackers played like a pinch there, able to avoid the lead blockers and slide in behind them and wrap up Landon right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you got to think this is probably going to be 4-down territory for the Eagles. Ball at the Tiger 32-yard line. 1 minute and 44 seconds left to play in the third quarter. All tied at 21. The Eagles come to the line of scrimmage. Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Calls for the football. Going to turn, hand this one to Strickland. Strickland keeps his legs turning, and now he's going to lose the football. I've got to think that probably, well, I tell you what, it'll be interesting to see it. But the Eagles are going to turn the ball over. Didn't look like that pile was moving a whole lot when the ball came out. But
referee's in a conclave right now, so they're discussing something.
Well, the Eagles are going to maintain possession. Yep. And I got to tell you, I don't know how you could have rewarded that as a fumble, but, stranger things have happened. The Eagles are going to maintain possession. The Oak Grove offense is going to come off the field. And their defense is going to have to get back on the field pretty quickly because they're going to start this play clock. Yeah. And now it looks like a pretty smart deal. They're going to call a timeout, and that's going to give their defense a chance to set up.
Yeah, the referees placed the ball there, and there was one Oak Grove defender on the field. Of course, the Eagles on the ball, and Coach Gregory and the Oak Grove Tigers smartly call a timeout there.
It is. Well, I tell you what, this is just a heck of, I'm telling you, man, it's a heck of a football game. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphries. Stan, what's going on down there?
Well, guys, you know, I'm on the sideline, and I guess I shouldn't. I should be a radio guy here more than a coach. But when they officially spotted the ball and said it was ours, I'm yelling, go. Get it to line, snap the ball, run. They're all on the other sideline over there. But they called timeout to be able to get their defense back out on the field. And, you know, it's a big call there. You know, they're thinking it's a turnover and a fumble. But he was down. It's our ball, first down, and continue this drive here at the end of the third quarter.
Well, Stan, it was, from our vantage point, it looked like he was. But, of course, you know, you really never know. But
not when you're on the road. Never know.
Thanks a lot. Stan Humphries with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Well, I tell you what, you just don't get these kind of gifts, man. You got to punch something in here to take advantage of this gift. First down, 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the Tiger 32-yard line. Or actually, second down at the 22-yard line. So the Eagles, Graves is going to line up in the shotgun. Gets a snap from center. Is going to throw a bad pitch. Ball's on the ground. Looks like Oak Grove may have come up with it and did.
Yeah, he was not down on that one.
No.
I don't know what happened there, David, but the toss did not make it to Chad Strickland. It was just a toss sweep to the far side of the field, and the ball was about 3 feet short of Strickland. And, of course, he tries to scoop it up. He's running kind of away from the ball. That's a tough task right there for a running back, and the ball's kind of bouncing around. And defenders pursuing, they, you know, obviously fall on it for the turnover. Again, deep in Oak Grove territory.
First down and 10 for the Tigers. Bradley is going to go with an empty. Well, he's going to send his tailback out wide, go with a fullback. Seems like the Tigers have been running the quarterback a lot out of this formation, kind of reading it and then keeping it, and they did here again. Yeah. Just kind of diving in and picking up 4 or 5 yards a pop as Bradley having to do yeoman's work. A gain of 7 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 3 for the Tigers. 50 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Tie game, 21-all. I have a sense, too, that the Oak Grove Tigers are in no hurry whatsoever to get these plays off, trying to let that clock run down as long as they can. Eye backfield behind the quarterback, Bradley. Turns. He's going to give this one to the tailback. He's going to get hammered in the backfield. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up a big third down play. Loss of 1 yard on the play. So now the Tigers are going to be looking at a big third down of their own. Third down and 4 for Oak Grove. They spot this football at the Tiger 30-yard line. 16 seconds. I don't know if the Tigers will they'll probably, it looks like Bradley's going to wait for the fourth quarter.
It looked like the Eagles identified that play pretty early on. Zach White comes to the near side. It's like they knew they were going to run it there, and he crashes down and is able to make the tackle in the backfield. Good recognition by the Eagles defense there.
Well, that's going to bring it into the third quarter of play as we get ready to start the last quarter of tonight's game. Starting tied up, 21-all. We're going to take a quick break from here in Oak Grove. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. Yard line, third down and 6. Bradley is going to empty the backfield. Again, typically when you see him keep the football off a fullback ride, he's going to fullback ride and keep it himself, and this time he's going to get stopped for a loss. Well, may have made 2 yards on the play. 1 is what Donnie's going to give him, so it's going to bring up fourth down deep in Tiger territory, and it looks like, of course, you would think that the Oak Grove Tigers are going to punt the football, and it looks like that's what they'll do. Big defensive stand that time for the Eagle defense, as they're going to get a chance here to send Tristan Wiley deep. Wiley, a very dangerous return man. But, Daniel, I'm going to tell you, I tip my hat to Clack, who's done a great job of kicking for the Tigers. Clack's done a good job of keeping it away from him almost the entire evening.
Well, he's a specialist on special teams. He was kicking, the extra point was going 45, 50 yards.
We got, I think, maybe 8 players on the field, maybe. That's going to cost the Eagles a timeout. Maybe 8 guys on the field.
Not a timeout you want to take there when you're about to get the ball back. There must have been a miscommunication somewhere. That last play, though, looked like Noah Lovelady, Colin Cork in on the tackle there for the stop. Just great penetration by the second level of the Eagles to bring up this 4th down, and hopefully we'll get our special teams personnel worked out here.
I think with the timeout, you're going to have to, and I think that's what Coach Fitzhugh's telling those guys right now. Is he's telling them, guys, we can't make mental mistakes at this point of the game. We can't put the ball on the ground. We can't not line up for a punt return. I mean, we got to be, you got to be better than that against Oak Grove at Oak Grove. That's what the expectation is.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring out this safe return again. The same look they gave on the return for the last punt we received.
4th down and 5. The Tigers are going to punt this football. Clack is going to line up, looks like his heels about the 15-yard line of the Tigers. Coach Fitzhugh's electing to go punt safe. He's going to send 2 men deep. That's going to be Wiley, and I can't make it out. Is it Culp on the other side?
There, yeah.
2 guys that are capable of taking this thing to the house. Clack has done a really good job of punting the football for Oak Grove so far this evening. And I'm not sure why we're not going to let him punt it, because this timeout has taken almost a month. And it continues on.
It does. We got another meeting of the officials.
Well,
Don't know what they could be discussing.
Not 100% sure, but looks like they finally got it worked out, and we might play some football. Well, not yet. And now we do.
Okay.
So the Eagles are going to run a couple guys in and out. Why not? Tate Hamby comes on. Clack will stand at about his 15-yard line. The Eagles send Wiley and Culp deep. It's going to be a low kick. This is one that could get away from you in a hurry. Get away, get away, get away.
You're out.
So the Eagles, with a smart thing there is, again, I'll tell you what, Clack is, he's done a nice job of kicking for the Tigers, and he's done a nice job of punting as well. So another nice punt, as this one's going to come to rest in Eagle territory. Punt covers 41 yards, no return. 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own, let's say, 27-yard line.
You mentioned Clack on the film from Oak Grove's game last week. That's something that stood out to me is Mangum, I think their first 3 possessions, they started from inside their own 10-yard line because of the punts that Clack was able to get deep in, deep to put them in a disadvantageous field position.
1st down and 10 for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Junior quarterback Landon Graves brings the Eagles to the line. A good snap from center, turns, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland's got some running room. Boy, I tell you, he's got a quick burst. Kid gets going. Man, I tell you, it's really fun to watch. Gain of 12 yards. He covered 12 yards in just a heartbeat. But Strickland brought down at more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down with a 12-yard gain, and they'll spot this football right at the Eagle 40-yard line.
You've heard the old adage, it looks like he got shot out of a cannon, and I tell you what, Chad personifies that. I mean, if he turns the corner, he's got a burst that you don't see from a lot of players.
1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 40-yard line. Again, they go with Strickland. Strickland's got this time he's going to run into some tough sledding over there on the Oak Grove side of the Eagle bench, far side of the field, and it looks like he's going to have positive yardage. Just depends on where they spot it, and it looks like a gain of 3, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 43-yard line. Clock is going to start coming into play. 10 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the football game. 21-21, all tied. Graves is going to line up in the shotgun. No play clock here at Tiger Stadium tonight, so the time is being kept on the field. Graves gets a good snap. He looks to keep this one himself and does. He's got a seam. He's across midfield, and that's going to be enough for another community pharmacy 1st down. A gain of 7 yards on the play. Needed 6 and picked up 7.
They're short. Nope, that's a 1st down.
Chains will move, and then that again enough for the community pharmacy 1st down. 1st down and 10 for the Eagles at midfield. Clock continues to run now. 10:26 left to play in the ball game.
two receivers split wide to the right, one to the left. The two nearest to us, Tristan Wiley, Thomas Culp. Graves in the shotgun. Two running backs with him in the gun. Good snap from center. Gives this one right up the middle of the field, and that's going to be number 11, Zach White. And White's going to be run out of bounds on the far side of the field, but now we've got a penalty marker on the play. And I don't know what that's going to be, but looks like it could be a hold possibly against the Eagles where it was thrown.
Yeah, it was away from the ball, kind of trailing the play. So the officials are meeting about it now. That's what it is.
All right, well, you know what? Here's the thing about the holding call at this point. The holding call from where it's at, yeah, it's going to be a penalty. It's going to cost you 10 yards, but it's only going to be 10 from, well, you know, we got two flags, though. Where are they going to mark it off from? So they're going to mark it off from there. So, all right, so we got two penalties. So they'll mark it off from here. So it's going to be 10 yards. Not going to break your back, though, because you're still going to be, you know, you don't lose it down. So it's going to be second down instead of second and 10. You're going to be looking at second and 14, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not the end of the world. Keep this drive alive right here. Nice positive play. Eagles hadn't thrown the ball in the air for quite some time now. I don't know if Landon wants to throw it, but I would love to see him throw it.
No doubt.
It is. It's going to be first down, 14 for the Eagles. Ball back in their territory at the 46-yard line. Graves calls for the ball and gets it. Low snap, but he's got time. Sets his feet. Got a man down. It's going to go in and out of the hands of Lovelady. I don't think you can throw a football better than that. It goes in and out of his hands. Oh, my goodness. Boy, that was right there. Landon could not have put that one on him any better. And unfortunately, it's not going to be hauled in, so it's going to bring up second down now and 14. Boy, tell you what, that junior quarterback put that one. Daniel, you can't put it any better.
That's about the third or fourth time he's looked towards Lovelady on that exact same route and unable to connect on each of those. But that one, if he catches that, he's taking it all the way in. He is wide open and a great throw. Just went right through his hands.
Well, some of the other two were, maybe a little underthrown, but boy, that one right on the money. Second down and 14 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 46-yard line. Graves in the shotgun. Calls for the ball. Gets a good snap. Going to call his own number. He's got a little bit of running room. Turns it up north to south. And that's what you like to see. Going to set up a real manageable third down here for the Eagles as a gain of 8 yards on the play. Gets him into Tiger territory. It's going to be third down and 6 as they spot this football at the Oak Grove 46-yard line.
You have second down in a long distance like that, second and 14. If you can cut it in half and give your offense a manageable third down right here, and the Eagles are probably in four-down territory right now, having crossed midfield. So we'll see if they can at least pick up some positive yardage if it's not a first down.
Well, the Eagles go to the wristband on this one. So Graves is going to call this one. Third down and 6. 8:53 left to play. 21 all. Good snap from center. Landon calls his own number, and he's going to be real close to the first down, but he's going to be about a yard shy. Gain of 4 yards. He needed 6, maybe a long 5. But it looks like he's going to need 2 yards for the first down. And you know that this is 4-down territory for the Eagles. 4th down and 2. Big play here in this football game. 8 minutes and 22 seconds left to play.
Both stands on their feet for this play right here. This is the play of the game up to this point.
They've drawn Oak Grove offsides about 100 times with the old steady in the saddle. Don't know what they're gonna call him. But they got him. They got him. Maybe the oldest trick in the OCS playbook. And we see it again. You know, if I went down to Stan Humphries, what he was gonna say. The old steady in the saddle. So that's gonna be a first down after they mark this penalty off. Encroachment is a call against the Tigers, and that's going to be a penalty, and that's going to result in another community pharmacy first down. Boy, Daniel, you just knew it was coming.
Yeah, but a design play for the offensive line to all come set and in synchronization and put their hands down, and of course they do it on cue and draw 2 or 3 of those Oak Grove defenders off sides there.
First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the Tiger 36-yard line. Graves in the shotgun. Calls for the ball, gives this one to Strickland. He's got some running room, and he's going to be hit and drop. Boy, just one man away, but a nice defensive stop by the Tigers. Gain of 4 yards on the play. Clock continuing to run and becoming a bigger factor here. 7 minutes and 26 seconds left to play in the ball game. All tied, 21 apiece. The Eagles find themselves with 2nd down and 6. Ball at the Tiger 33-yard line. Landon Graves, the junior quarterback, brings the Eagles to the line. 2 running backs with him in the backfield, more like a running back and a wing back. 2 receivers split far to the right. Graves calls for it. He's going to call this his own number all the way. He's across the 25, inside the 20-yard line, almost inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone, but it's going to be more than enough for a community pharmacy first down.
Yeah, landed down towards close to the 20-yard line. You can't say enough about this Eagles offensive line. Luke Barris on the right side with James David Miller and Andy Weatherford, Avery Pilgreen, and Casey Cobb on the left with Barham White at tight end. They're just opening up holes for these runners.
Gain of 12 yards on the play. First down and 10 for the Eagles inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone. Snap. Graves is going to call his own number again. Gets a great kick-out block. But boy, a nice scraping tackle by the corner on the far side, as it looked like Landon had a little bit bigger hole than he did, but it's going to be a gain of 1 yard. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 for Ouachita Christian at the Oak Grove Tiger 18.
Yeah, good cut by Landon. Unfortunately, number 22, who we've talked about, that'd be Hedgewood again, able to get come in for backside assistance and bring Landon down. But still positive yards. You got 2nd and 9 here.
The timeout is going to be taken on the field, and that's going to be the 6-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. We're going to take an opportunity to go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. This is when you win and lose them right here, Stan.
Yeah, it is. And, the good thing about it right now, if you've watched this on live stream and you're listening to it on the radio right now, we've been in the same formation about the last 8 or 9 plays. We've put 2 receivers to the field and a wing set with a tight end and a wing to the left.
Yeah.
And we've run the ball to the left, just straight down their throat. We get outside, we get up inside, and right now, we're 2nd and 9, 6 minutes left to go in the game. It's one of those deals that as a quarterback and as a coach, you look at it, you want 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2, 1st and 10, and the clock keeps running.
Thanks a lot. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Hey, you know what? I get it. I'd love to see 3rd and 3 right now with an Eagle first down. But right now, we're looking at 2nd and 9.
We are. This is an opportunity, though, inside the red zone again, and a chance for the Eagles to cap off a drive. One more time right here, turning the ball over on the previous 2. So now we're down inside the 20, and let's see if we can get the ball into the end zone here.
Well, young Mr. Wiley has decided to draw double coverage up on Tristan. Culp with man down at the bottom. Man to man. They send a man in motion. Graves is going to run this one himself. He's trying to find a seam and does. He's down inside the 20-yard line. But, boy, I tell you, maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to be real tough, it looks like. Maybe no gain on the play. But it is. Donnie's going to say they ran him out of bounds. So now we get outside of the comfort zone of 3rd and 3, and now we're looking at 3rd and 9. 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles at the Oak Grove 19-yard line. So 19, you're probably talking 29, 35-yard field goal attempt. I don't really know what we've got comfort with in our kickers. With 5 minutes and 54 seconds, do you want to try something like that? But it'll be interesting to see. Definitely 4-down territory if Coach Fitzhugh doesn't.
Yeah, well, I think Sam Harrell's got that in his range. But obviously, you'd prefer to put one in the end zone here.
3rd down and 9. Graves sends Lovelady in motion across the formation. Looks to throw. He's looking for Wiley. Now he's going to have to escape. Scrambles. Puts this one up in the air. That's going to be inadvertent. Boy, I tell you what, the Oak Grove defender could not have done us a bigger favor, as that traveled right into the hands of the defensive back for the Tigers. And that's one he'll he'll think about tonight if the Tigers are unfortunate. That was Ramaran Ruffin, and that's going to be incomplete. And now it's going to be 4th down. The Eagles are not going to kick this. They're going to try to put something in the end zone, or at least pick up this 4th down. 4th down and 9.
Well, not the best throw from Landon. He was rolling out to his left and trying to throw it back across the field, into the middle of the field. You know, Stan mentioned earlier, you want to see him plant that back foot and drive the ball down the field. Unable to do so there. Now
4th down and 9 for the Eagles. Ball at the Tiger 19. Graves needs a 1st down to keep this drive alive. Good snap from center. Has some time. Put some air under it. Got a receiver out there. It's caught, and it looks like he's going to have enough for the 1st down.
Thomas Culp.
Culp is going to come up with a huge catch, and it's going to set the Eagles up 1st down and goal at the Tiger 9. Clock should continue to run as the chains are not even moved yet.
That's goal to go right there. So they're going to spot the ball.
Well, the Eagles, they're signaling a timeout here. The chains are going to move, but we do. We've got an injured player on the far side of the field. It is going to be 1st down and goal for the Eagles at the 9, but we do have a player shaken up on the play.
You know, we've mentioned the athleticism of Landon Graves, and that was a long throw, and he's able to get some zip on it.
I don't know, Daniel. It must not be a player because...
Well, Culp was down for just a minute after he made that catch. He's not on the field right now, so he had to check out. That's what it was.
1st down and goal for the Eagles at the Tiger 9. It is an Eagle player, and it is Culp. He's shaken up, but he's up on his feet as we get ready to resume play. Graves had him to the line, ready to roll, and good to see Thomas Culp moving. Great catch that time on the far side of the field to keep this drive alive. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the game. Graves in the shotgun. Turns, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland's got some running room. He's down to the 2, the 1. Oh, it's going to come up. Touchdown!
Yes!
Touchdown! And now we got penalty markers coming out everywhere.
Well, the good thing is those penalty markers are after the play.
Absolutely.
The touchdown had been called, so we'll get the 6 and then see how they sort this out.
Touchdown, Ouachita Christian. Strickland takes it in from 9 yards out. Still waiting to see what both penalty markers. Boy, I tell you what, they were thrown simultaneously.
And what a second effort by Chad there, though. He got hit at about the 4-yard line and able to spin and maneuver his way into and dive and get the ball across the plane.
So no indication from the officials as to what the call will be.
Oh, here comes the white hat.
Well, the Eagles are setting up. It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Oak Grove Tigers, and boy, that's going to be a tough penalty on the kickoff. Big extra point attempt here, as all of them are. Sam Harrell on to attempt the extra point. Snap, good kick, kicks up.
Nice kick, Sam.
Oh my goodness, Harrell drills that one, man. They kicked that one to Columbia as that one goes over the fence here at Tiger Stadium. Great kick by Harrell. And the Eagles are going to take a 7-point lead with 5 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the ball game. And, I mean, I'm telling you, 5 minutes and 23 seconds is a month.
It's a long time. That's a long time.
You got to be kidding me.
Especially with the big plays we've seen.
It's crazy. Now, the Eagles are going to have a big bump on this thing as they're going to have a 15-yard penalty. So they'll kick this thing probably, they normally kick from the 40, so you're probably going to be looking at the 45 of the Oak Grove Tigers. And I got to tell you something, I like that a lot.
I do too.
Because you got to kick this football in the end zone and keep it away from either one of the return guys here at Oak Grove. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys with American State Bank. Sideline report.
You know, you're talking about this.
Stan.
Yeah, you talk about this penalty right here. Do you want to kick it in the end zone, or do you want to go onside kick?
I knew he was about to ask that question.
Stan!
Do you want to go onside kick?
I knew he was about to ask that question.
Well,
you got to lead, though.
I know you do. I know you do. Well, I don't know what. You know what? That's why I'm sitting up here.
That's right.
And not in Coach Fitzhugh's hat.
I mean, you know, you're kicking the ball from what? The 45-yard line.
That's right.
The ball's got to go to at least the 35. I mean, hey.
Yeah. All right.
How about the guy that onside kicks at every game in high school football, or a college coach or whatever it is, and goes for every 4th down no matter where it is on the field?
All right. You know what? All right, I'm beat. I understand. I get the logic. All right, Stan. All right, so the Eagles, thanks, Stan. Stan Humphreys with American State Bank. Sideline report. 25-yard line. And again, you know, it's, I guess like Stan had said, it's, you got to kick this thing 10 yards either way. So Harold approaches it, and he's going to go with the end zone kick, hopefully.
Okay.
And he does. So now the Eagles will set up, the Tigers will set up shop, first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 5 minutes and 23 seconds is a month during this football game. Two football teams that are just giving each other all they can handle. The Tigers now first down and 10 at their own 20.
I have to tell you, I was thinking along the same lines as Stan there. Coach Fitzhugh's never too hesitant to call for an onside kick. You know
yeah, I mean, that's it. I agree. And maybe it was a great opportunity to do it. But you got to ask your defense to rise up. You know, first down and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. The Oak Grove Tigers, there's absolutely no desire for them to, you know, I mean, these guys are going to play to the whistle. Bradley goes under center, turns, hands this one in deep in the backfield. The Eagle defense is there. It's going to be tough sledding. Gain of 1 yard on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 9. The only thing you run into is if you're going to do a long, drawn-out, methodical drive, the clock is not going to be your friend. 5 minutes left to play in the football game. Gain of 1, second down and 9. Ball at the Tiger 21-yard line. Clock continuing to run now in under 4:50 to play in the football game. Bradley brings the Tigers to the line. Two receivers split wide to the right. An eye backfield behind him. Turns, hands this one, and we got a whole lot of running room for Hegwood. And Hegwood does a really good job of exposing it. He picks up a nice gain on the play. And I'm telling you, these two football teams, you got a lot of guys chipping around the pile, pushing around the pile on both sides. It's going to cost somebody 15 yards, and that could be a backbreaker. Gain of 10 on the play for Hegwood. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Tigers.
But you knew physicality is going to be a big part of this game. You hope it's between the whistles. The players staying disciplined, and we can see who wins the field.
I'd be all over that one, though. I don't have any official indication yet. That could have gone backwards as they're going to rule this incomplete. It'll be interesting to see. So now the clock's going to stop, 4 minutes and 13 seconds. You're going to rule it incomplete. It's going to be second down and 13.
Yeah, that looked like it was a forward pass, not by much, though. Bradley's on his way back into the huddle with the play, and a long second down here.
Second down and 10 for Oak Grove. Ball at their own 31-yard line. 4 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in the game. Ouachita Christian 28, Oak Grove 21. Bradley in the shotgun. You don't see him a lot in the gun. This time a little mix-up and a little confusion. And Bradley is going to, well, he'll fight forward for the yardage he can. But, boy, we got a big third down play here. Of course, it's got to be 4-down territory for the Tigers. A gain of 3. So you're going to be looking now, it's third down and 7.
Yeah, miscommunication there between Bradley and the running back, but Colin Cork and Maddox King, the middle and strong side linebacker, are able to get back there and make a tackle for a minimal gain and bring up a fairly long first down. Not manageable, but what is that, 3rd and 7?
Third down and 7 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 34-yard line. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left to play in the football game. Clock continuing to run inside 3:30. Bradley in the shotgun is going to look to throw. We're going to have whistles before the play. We got a penalty marker on the far side of the field.
Is that a procedure?
It's going to be a legal procedure against the Tigers, and that's going to be a costly one.
Yep.
As, boy, 5 yards with this setup is not what you're looking for, but it is, you know, again, it's what you have. So they're going to mark this one off. Probably going to be looking at third down, maybe an 11. Depends on where they'll spot this. I'll have to wait on Donnie because I'm sure he's going to correct me for me being wrong.
He says 12.
Okay, 3rd and 12 then. I am corrected. Third down and 12 for the Tigers. Big third down, maybe the biggest one of the night for Oak Grove. 3 minutes and 3:10 left to play in the football game. Bradley is in the shotgun. Two receivers split wide to his right, one running back with him in the backfield. Bradley's going to have some time to throw and does. Puts a lot of air under this.
Wiley sees it.
And it's going to be incomplete. So you're going to be looking at your ball game right here, folks. It's going to be fourth down and about 12 for Oak Grove.
Yeah, really good coverage. Really good coverage package there by the Eagle defense. Wiley, Zach White, Tate Hamby, Thomas Culp, all back, underneath that throw. A lot of air under that ball by Bradley there with one receiver in the area.
3 minutes left to play in the football game. Oak Grove down to their last play if they don't get it. 4 4th down and 12. You turn it over here, you got to think the Eagles can win this football game. Bradley looks for time.
Pick right here.
He looks to throw, throws it over the middle. It's up in the air. It's going to be incomplete. That is probably going to be enough.
Yeah, Thomas Culp on the coverage there. Not a bad throw there by Bradley, but just a tough play when everybody in the stands and on the field knows you got to pick up the first down by throwing the ball.
Well, here's the problem I have with being right here, right now. I can tell you this ball game is way far from over.
That's right.
All right, there's 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the football game. The Eagles have a 7-point lead. I've been to Oak Grove, I've been to OCS, and these games don't end right now.
No.
All right, so right now, Ouachita Christian's got to find a way to run 2 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock.
Or get a score.
Or score.
Yes.
If they score, yeah, it's a ball game. Right now, this is anybody's football game. Tigers unsuccessful. Ouachita Christian, 2 minutes and 56 seconds left to try and come up to Oak Grove and come away with a win. Graves turns, hands this one to Strickland. They're trying to strip him.
Running right there.
And instead of stripping him, they're just going to not tackle him. Strickland's going to pick up huge chunks of yardage, gain of 12 yards on the play. That's going to put him into the Randall's Fine Meat red zone, and more than enough for a community pharmacy. First down.
And what a run by Strickland, bouncing off of 2 or 3 defenders there to pick up a good chunk of yardage.
Clock starts now with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the football game. Landon Graves is going to try to let this run down. Got to be tough clock management, not having the play clock down on the field. Graves, good snap from center, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland puts his head down, a nice, tough run, and it looks like the Tigers are going to burn one of their timeouts as Strickland picks up a yard. And we're going to take a timeout because we're going down to talk to Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Stan, what a game, what a game.
Yeah, it's a great job there by the defense to put a defensive stand, get the ball back offensively. Got 2:28 left here. What we got to do here, we talked about it early in the game, you have no play clock, so the quarterback doesn't know how much time he's got left, except for the guy that's behind the defense in the back there. When he gets inside of 10 seconds, he'll hold his hand up. So we've got to, as best we can, the quarterback needs to watch him. When his hand goes up, you need to snap the ball within 2 or 3 seconds, 4 seconds after his hand goes up to run the clock. Be able to run the clock here and run the game out.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Big second down here. Daniel, we talked about it. It's nice to maybe try to squeeze, get you more into a second and 4, 2nd and 5 type scenario. Well, Oak Grove is now down. They've got 1 timeout left. So the next one the Tigers burn will be their final.
That was Chad's 29th carry of the night. He's carrying the load.
Good.
He's got 180 yards, and I bet you he reaches 30 carries.
Good. Hang on to the ball.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what I say, Chad. Get your 30 carries. Hang on to the ball. 2nd down and 9 for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Strickland has had a great night tonight. Worked really hard, run the ball hard, taking some big shots.
Yeah.
And big part of this Ouachita Christian effort tonight. Landon Graves will line up behind center. He's in the shotgun. 2 receivers split wide to the right. Graves calls for the ball, turns, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland's going to bounce it. Now he's got some running room. 10, 5, what a run! Down! Ouachita Christian! Chad Strickland's going to take it in from 16 yards out. And the Ouachita Christian Eagles, that touchdown is probably going to put this one out of reach. As Strickland, just patient running that time, slipped outside, and when the gap was there, exploded through the hole. And Chad Strickland may have sewn up this one for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Again, I've been to this game before. Nothing is over. Okay, you got to score, but you never know.
Well, that was probably a relief for Chad on that run. I think that was his first run tonight where he wasn't touched running the ball. He just ran in the end zone.
Boy, I tell you what, Sam Harrell hammered that one, as that's going to split the uprights. May have gone back into the neighborhood over there, but a great job that time by that Eagle offensive line. There's no way I'm going to eat up all that without going down to talk to Stan Humphreys with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Stan, that's how you win games, man.
Yeah, a great great job there. That same formation we've been lining up pretty much the whole fourth quarter with 2 receivers to the field, a tight end and a wing back into the boundary there, and just a great job by that left side of the offensive line. And Chad kind of turned it up into the middle a little bit, allowed the defense to try to clog the middle, and then bounced it outside. And boy, when he got to the outside, great speed to get around the corner and get in the end zone.
Thanks a lot. Stan Humphries down on the sideline with a Marion State Bank sideline report. I want to thank tonight's fourth quarter sponsor, Eagle Point Boat and RV Storage. Eagle Point Boat and RV Storage, located on beautiful Lake D'Arbonne in Farmerville, Louisiana. Proud longtime supporter of Ouachita Christian Athletics. Every time the Eagles enter the Randall's Fine Meat Red Zone, we want to thank the folks at Randall's for their continued support for all your tailgating needs. Visit Randall's Fine Meats on the corner of Old Sterlington Road and Finks Hideaway. I can tell you, Daniel, speaking from experience, ton of quality food and tailgating paraphernalia at Randall's.
I had a meat pie today.
Harold lines this one up and looks like he's going to kick this one short. It's going to be fielded on the far side of the field for the Tigers. A little bit of running room for Oak Grove. And as I mentioned only moments ago, this game never seems to be over. Listen, there's 2 minutes left in this game. 19-yard return for the Tigers. They're going to have the ball first down and 10, pretty good field position at their own 34-yard line. Oak Grove trails the Ouachita Christian Eagles by 2 touchdowns now, 35-21. But I can tell you, as somebody that's followed this rivalry for as long as I have, 2 touchdowns with 2 minutes means nothing.
No, if you're the Eagles defense here, you want to play disciplined defense. No penalties. Do your role. Do your job. Yes.
First down and 10 for Oak Grove. They're going to have to put something together in a hurry. 2 minutes left to play in the football game. They trail 35-14. Bradley in the shotgun. He's going to look to throw. He's feeling a little bit of pressure. He's going to try to scramble out of it, puts that one in the air, and it's caught. It's going to be a nice throw and a nice catch. And the Tigers are going to have to hurry up. They're short of the first down, so the clock's going to continue to run.
Good
down to 9 seconds, 158-56. Gain of 9 on the play. Second down and 1. Bradley again in the shotgun. They're going to look to the sideline for the play. Clock continuing to run, wasting a lot of time on the play call. Minute 40 left to play in the game. Bradley looks to roll. He's feeling some pressure. Unloads. He's got a man out in the flat, and it's caught. And the Eagles looked like they were able to stop him before he got out of bounds, but he does. So that'll stop the clock with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play in the football game. Gain of 11 on the play.
Those are 2 good throws by Bradley there. Something you hadn't seen a lot of tonight. They hadn't thrown the ball much, but those were 2 really good throws in a row from Bradley.
Now, it looks like the officials are going to back the Oak Grove Tigers up. Now, I'm not 100% sure why that's happening. But apparently, we've got a penalty marker on the play. No official indication.
There he is.
There he is.
So no clarity on what the call is here. The official's still deliberating.
Still waiting for the call from the head official.
Stan.
Let's go down and check in with Stan Humphries with Marion State Bank sideline report. What do you say, Stan?
Looks like they're calling illegal formation, kind of what they called on us early in the game. Not enough guys on the line. Should be backing them up 5 yards here.
Oh, man, not only losing 5, losing that play as well. That's a huge penalty. Thanks a lot, Stan. Stan Humphries with the Marion State Bank sideline report.
Not very many games you see 4 formation penalties in a game. 2
Boy, that's a backbreaker for the Oak Grove Tigers, because not only do you lose the 5 yards, but you lose that play, and well, that's a big play for them. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play in the football game. Ouachita Christian leads 35-21, and we got 4th down on the stick, but there's no way we're anywhere near 4th down, as bad as I would like to see that. So now you're going to be
second down.
I think it should be playing second down. All right, so the officials are going to talk about this one and
give our defense a breather here. And their offense.
All right, so now maybe the marker is going to go to second, and now we play football. 2nd down and 5 for the Oak Grove Tigers. Ball at their own 39-yard line. 1:34 left to play in the game. Bradley calls for the ball, feeling a little pressure. Now he looks to throw and does. Got a man, and that one's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, not the way that play was drawn up. Looked like Bradley wanted to drop back in the pocket and let his receivers come open or throw them open, but forced out and had to throw the ball on the run and wasn't able to push it down the field far enough to his receiver.
Well, the down and distance marker guy across the field is finally going to get to put that 3rd down on there legitimately. So it is going to be 3rd down and 5 for Oak Grove. Ball at their own 39-yard line. We're down under 1:30, 1:28 left to play in the game. Ouachita Christian with a 2-touchdown lead, 35-21. Bradley in the shotgun. Calls for the ball. Feeling some pressure immediately. They over-pursued it. Now Bradley's going to have a chance to run, and he will, but he's going to be hit on the far side of the field, knocked out of bounds. And now we got a penalty marker. Wow. I don't, well, that was a really late flag, but, you know, a flag nonetheless. So we'll sort it out.
I imagine that was going to go against the Eagles here.
Well, I've got to think so, but you know, who knows at this point. So it was 3rd down and 5. Bradley looked like he may have been close to the 1st down marker. Took a shot out of bounds on the far side of the field. There is a penalty marker on the play. There's 1:21 left to play in the football game. The Eagles are going to get dinged with hitting him out of bounds. It's a 15-yard penalty.
This is what we talked about at the onset of this drive, playing disciplined, and you know, you want to play with intensity, but you want to play within the barriers of discipline, defense, and football.
It's a tough read over there. But the Eagles are going to get dinged with it. They take a shot at him. It's going to be a penalty of 15 yards. 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at the Eagle 42-yard line.
Keep him in front of you right here.
Bradley is going to get a real low snap from center. He's going to look to throw.
Oh, Maddox King!
It's intercepted. The Eagles are going to come up with a pick.
Sophomore Maddox King with a great interception right there.
That looks like exactly, Daniel. Maddox King is going to come up with a great pick. Bradley was under duress, got a low snap from center. Now, I will tell you this. I've seen a bunch of these games. I do think we're probably going to win this football game.
I think so. You hope. I imagine Chad Strickland's going to get a couple carries here. You hope he holds onto the ball. Hopefully 1 or 2 carries will do it. Then you go into your victory formation. But, man, what a catch by Maddox there. Laying full extension and able to hold on to the ball. You know, last week he was the one that had the interception that was called an interception that was at his shoestrings and then overturned. But a good defensive player, being in the right spot, playing that disciplined football. Great play by King.
It's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. I think the Tigers have 1 timeout left. Never been a big fan of us in the victory formation in the shotgun. I'll just say that out loud for everybody. Because we're going to have to snap the ball 5 yards before we take a knee. But that is exactly what's going to happen. Clock is going to continue to run.
And the Tigers going to hold on to their timeouts, it looks like. Oh, they're one timeout.
Clock continues to run down inside of 50 seconds. Eagles lead the game 35-21. I'll tell you what, man, this was a great football game.
It was a great game.
I mean, you're talking about 2 teams that literally have played their guts out tonight, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Well, I just want to... Again, you cannot say enough about the Eagles' offensive line tonight. Luke Bears, Andy Weatherford, James David Miller, Casey Cobb. They just done a great job. Barn White on the tight end spot. Just a great job tonight, opening it up for a great rushing effort for the OCS Eagles.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to make their trip up to Oak Grove, and they are going to defeat the Oak Grove Tigers 35-21. Coach Stephen Fitzhugh is going to pick up a win for this OCS football team. And I tell you what, this is what it's all about. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Stan Humphreys for his final thoughts on the game tonight. Stan, what a great game. Huh?
Yeah, a great high school football game. And you know, really, I hope we learned something in week 2 right here playing a rivalry. You know, a lot of mistakes on our part. You know, we ended up winning the football game 35-21, but a ton of mistakes. Too many turnovers, a special teams kickoff return, botched punt. but a good showing by our football team tonight, and just keep that fight going, and just getting ready for next week now. But always great to win that game Oak Grove week.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Stan. Thanks so much for being down there for us and providing what he does. I mean, I'm telling you, man, Stan's got the inside track on all of it, doesn't he?
Yep.
Well, what do you think, man? Game 2, right? Week 2. Are you being up here in the press box calling these games? Does it get better than that?
No, not better than that game, especially the way we performed against adversity, and like Stan said, against the mistakes that we made, on offense with a couple of ill-advised throws, putting the ball on the ground, several penalties, especially on defense, but able to overcome those things and have a fantastic night, a fantastic offensive night for the OCS Eagles.
Absolutely. What a great game. And both teams, you want to tip your hat, and I'm going to tell you that, the folks here at Oak Grove, they treat us unbelievably kind, and it's just it's a neat place to come. I can tell you this, every time we played Oak Grove, I hated them for a week, but I loved them before and I loved them after, and that's exactly what you see down there. A lot of classy guys. It's a tough win, and a tough loss for the Oak Grove Tigers, but
it was a tough win too.
Yeah. This was nobody's easy game. Folks, I want to thank you for tuning in to us tonight. It was a great game. Daniel, if you want to, we got a minute. You could go through the stats for the game tonight.
Yeah, I think the stats were great. Eagles offense had 66 plays for 371 yards. Oak Grove had 44 plays for 177. So the Eagles able to gain about plus 200 on the offensive side. Time of possession 27 minutes, almost 28. 27 minutes and 50 seconds for the Eagles. 20 minutes and 10 seconds for the Tigers. Here's the difference in the game, in my opinion, right here, Dave. Ouachita Christian had 46 rushes for 237 yards. Oak Grove had 34 for 138. Of those yards, Chad Strickland had 31 carries for 197 yards and 4 touchdowns. What a game by Chad.
Big night.
Let's go back up here to the passing yards. Landon was 7 of 20 for 134 yards. Bradley for Oak Grove was 4 of 10 for 39. Landon had 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 2 picks for Bradley. OCS had 3 fumbles, lost 1 of them. Oak Grove had 1 fumble, lost it. So 3 turnovers for the Tigers, 2 for the Eagles. 25 first downs for the Eagles, 13 for the Tigers. And so third down conversions, OCS was 6 of 14. That's good for 43%. Oak Grove 3 third down conversions on 11 attempts, but OCS able to prolong the drives, going 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions. Penalties pretty split pretty evenly. OCS 7 penalties for 60 yards. Oak Grove 6 for 55. 4 punts for the Eagles at 24.3 yards per punt. Oak Grove at 3 for 34.7. And again, leading rusher was Chad Strickland with 197 yards on 31 totes. Averaged 6.4 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. Landon was right behind him with 11 carries for 47 yards. Tristan Wiley, 4 catches for 126 yards, averaging 31.5 yards a catch with a touchdown. Casey Cobb led all tacklers with 6.5 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. So great job by OCS offensively and defensively. Last week we weren't able to get to the defensive stats, but last week OCS was able to hold Southwood to 16 yards of offense. This week another great defensive performance for the Eagles.
Absolutely. Daniel, thanks so much for the numbers of night. The numbers usually tell you a lot about how this game turned out. We want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to us and on 92.3 The Wolf. I want to thank Stan Humphreys for all his work down on the sidelines for us. Of course, my broadcasting partner up here with the color analysis, Daniel Kirkendall, and all these numbers that we have to throw at you all game long. I'm a big numbers guy.
Yeah.
Not really. Come from Donnie Haley, and Donnie does such a great job with providing us with those. And of course, none of us even get on the air without John. And I want to thank John Runyon for running our show and getting this thing on the air. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It's a lot of fun, man. What a great game tonight between the Ouachita Christian Eagles and the Oak Grove Tigers. Just a lot of fun. Both teams playing their guts out up here in Northeast Louisiana. The Eagles come up on top in this one, 35-14. I want to thank you for tuning in to Ouachita Christian Eagle football. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening.